Okay, getting the first. Get 3, Pyro, get 3 with the
Void Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, Overwatch fans. Welcome to the first match here in the playoffs for Overwatch Tranquility. Finally, it's time. Stage 1 over, Stage 2 just completed, and now we get to the long-awaited playoffs here. We're starting it off this week in the Harmony tier. We have a matchup here in this wildcard round. Coming at you from the Indigo side of the bracket of the Miami Yikes, our 7th seed team going up against Venom Cheese, the 10th seeded team. Now, these two teams faced off at the very end of Stage 1 in Week 5, and Venom Cheese took away the 3-1 victory. They had a pretty good end of Stage 2 here. Miami Yikes had a couple of rough games, but still ended up with that 7th seed. The winner tonight will move on next week to take on the Jetpack Cats, the 2nd seeded team. So everything on the line. It's do or die. Time to go home if you lose. So these two teams been saving all season to get to this point, and I, for one, am excited to see what they have. So my name is Booth. If you haven't seen me yet, then you've never tuned into this channel. Joined by my good friend Jukebox here on Analyst, and Juke. This is going to be a lot of fun to distinguish between the two tonight. On production for us, Jukebox, welcome to your first Tranquility cast as a caster, and what are you looking forward to tonight? What are you excited for?
Well, first off, thank you for the introduction, Booth. I did actually accidentally wave when you introduced Juke because that is how confusing this broadcast has already been.
It's going to be.
I am very excited for this match today. I actually did do production on Venom Cheese previously, so I have seen this team live before, and they were pretty impressive. They didn't win the last match that we did broadcast. It seems like both these teams are struggling just a little bit with the current meta of the game, which makes this match even more exciting because that just lets our audience know that it could just go either way. Which team has prepped properly with the time that they have? It's really a split decision.
It really is. I think it was Venom Cheese ended up being 4-4 on the season. They were 2-1 here in Stage 2. The loss in the feature match against Ultraviolet, who looked like a pretty strong C team for the brackets they had. I think they could do pretty well here in the playoffs. Miami Yikes were 1-2 in Stage 2, but we'll have to see how they come back over this. They had a big win last week over Boop, which gave them the 7th seed. But let's go ahead and break down into our teams here. We're going to have a 1-4 format tonight, starting off on Control. It's going to be a pick here for the Miami Yikes. It looks like they've selected Oasis so far. Oasis is going to be our first map that we're going to go to. But quickly breaking down the teams, I'm going to run through the Miami Yikes, who came in at 2,609 SR. They have Stynesis, who nominated for Best Off-Tank here in the End of Season Awards. We have PMAJ, we have Rabid, Stonky, Just a Little Shy, Turtles, who is the Dark Horse pick for the Best Projectile DPS in the Harmony tier, and then Lord Stubmort, rounding it out for their team. And then Jukebox, if you want to introduce Venom Cheese for us.
Absolutely. So coming in on the other side, we have Venom Cheese. We have Steven coming in on a flex player with the SR of 2821 and is actually known on this team as the in-game leader. Then coming up next, we have Cat Mask, who is also playing the flex role today. Could be playing any role in the lineup today. Not sure which it'll be because I don't have much experience broadcasting either of these teams, but I guess that's the fun of it. We're just going to find out together. Coming in with SR of 2372 and was also nominated as the most improved player of the entire league. So that'll be very interesting to see how Cat Mask has utilized that practice that he has used over the course of the season and puts it to the test here in this playoff game. Coming up next, we have Young Lean also coming in on the flex role at 2279. KC coming in also flex with 2803. Den
Vega. Den Vega, I think. Yes.
You're struggling to read that just a little bit. Also flexing for the team with an SR of 2000, but is also considered the most underrated player on this team. So we'll see how he steps up and clutches it out today for Venom Cheese. They're definitely going to need it. And then we have LMAO coming in also on the flex role with an SR of 2306. Storm with the only not flex player on this team, strictly locked to DPS at 2824. Yeah. So we're going to see some spectacular play out of him on DPS if we get to see him play. And then we have coming in last but not least, we have Neo GCX. Booth, who do you think is going to be the linchpin of both of these teams here coming into our first map of Oasis?
Yeah, it's going to be tough here on Oasis. I think it's going to vary on which points we see opening up for each side here. I think Pharah play can be pretty strong on like University, for example, and having Turtles on the Miami Yikes with that projectile play for them could be very strong for them. But it also comes down, I think, to looking at how Venom Cheese, what roles they're going to end up flexing to on each side. It's one of the fun things I like about their lineup is that everybody's basically locked and able to go across to multiple roles. So they can kind of pick whatever composition they want to run. They can pick their composition and then assign the players from that instead. Whereas some teams, if they get a lot, like 3 or 4 players in the Harmony tier might be locked in on their roster and they're kind of stuck a little bit about who's got to run what. But already some interesting compositions.
Absolutely. Usually we traditionally we have been seeing the Reaper Sombra kind of brawl dive hybrid. It's really just played like brawl, but with more mobile tanks. But we are seeing on the side of Venom Cheese that we are seeing some Wrecking Ball coming out here. So that'll definitely make things interesting coming into our first map. We are going to see Miami Yikes on the other side coming out with a more traditional comp. We'll see how this fares for them.
Yeah, the Sombras each way could really help counter this dive. I mean, Den Vega's got to be very careful not to dive in too far in the backline.
Yeah, we see Miami Yikes taking the high ground already, establishing a power position. We'll see how they utilize it as the time starts to tick down for the point to unlock. Meanwhile, Venom Cheese, they are establishing point presence here, so we'll see which positional advantage seems to give each team the edge. Both teams just kind of poking each other out here, and that's going to be Control coming over to Venom Cheese first with that point presence, giving them fair dominance on the point. And now, Miami Yikes, they got to make a move. Already coming out with a Bob in the first few minutes of the match, just coming out with Bob right off the back. Young Lean already establishing his presence on the point, but Miami Yikes, they are prepared for it. They do manage to take down some players on Venom Cheese, and that is going to be point control going over to Venom Cheese.
Yeah, they did a good job. They waited for a long game there. They let some of that point progress tick away. They were waiting to see, who was going to get that first initiation. Turtles has the EMP now for this next fight available for them, so they're going to be able to dive in. You see Cat Mask already switching over to this far now off of the. Actually, I didn't remember. I think off the Sombra it was. So they're not going for much of that divey composition anymore. I think the Pharah can definitely open up some space for him.
Yeah, they're definitely going for some long-range poke on the side of Venom Cheese. We'll see how it plays out for them. And now we have a Coalescence popped out in the beginning of the engagement. We'll see how they utilize it, but no picks are coming out of it, though. That is going to create a huge advantage for the side of Miami Yikes. And Venom Cheese, they're aware of it, so they pop the Valkyrie in response. Wrecking Ball falling pretty low on the point, and it's going to get taken out by Stonky. And now the teams are even. This fight could still go either way, but without a main tank, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Venom Cheese, and especially with point presence going back over to the control of Miami Yikes, it's probably smart for Venom Cheese to reset here.
Yeah, it is. They're still trying to push in. They do have the Wrecking Ball back already. Young Lean has the Bob again, but they got to watch out for this EMP.
Yeah, the EMP, and there it is. There's the EMP coming in, and that is going to be go time for the side of Miami Yikes. And here comes the Death Blossom. 2, 3 coming out from Stonky. Does get taken out by the Bob at the end, but what a play coming out from the Miami Yikes DPS, firmly establishing their control on this point. And now we're getting into last fight territory, Booth.
Yeah, it is 80% already. Venom Cheese making a few other swaps. You see Young Lee now coming over onto McCree, maybe trying to deal with the Sombra a little bit more. They don't have DPS ults on the side of the Miami Yikes anymore, but double support ults and the Winston ult from Queen Rabid can help them definitely get some presence here. But they got to watch out. Cast Mask getting so close to that barrage, and with the mines as well from Vega, that gives them a lot of stall potential here.
Yeah, Venom Cheese is going to have to play aggressive in order to take this point back. The minefield does come out, but it isn't getting much value. Really just a zoning ult at that point. But meanwhile, Venom Cheese does take control. So now the pressure is on the side of Miami Yikes. They do pop Coalescence to try to give him an edge in the fight, but they aren't getting much value out of it. And here comes the barrage from Catmask and gets hacked. In response, that barrage completely shut down with no value. Miami Yikes just ready to respond at the tip of a hat to anything Venom Cheese has to throw at them. And even though the point is in control of Venom Cheese, it looks like this is about to go back in Miami's way. And the point is, and just as I say that, the point is ticking back in control, and now it's desperation time for Venom Cheese that they just throw bodies on the point.
Yeah, they're going to do their best to contest here, but Miami Yikes did a fantastic job of that. Gave up a lot of point presence when they needed to, but then we're ready to dive back in. I mean, Venom Cheese was kind of over-investing a lot of their abilities to try to get to point and get those picks, and by in the meantime, Miami Yikes were just sitting back on point, holding their positioning, and then after the fight was over, they were able to use their own abilities to win it back.
Excellent disciplined play coming out from the side of Miami Vikes. The Venom Cheese, they are still trying to throw bodies on the point here, trying to stagger themselves just well enough so that they can get enough bodies back, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The Death Blossom coming out from Stonky once again, and that is just cleanup from all there. Miami Yikes taking the first point on Oasis.
Yeah, pretty aggressively too. I mean, 148 there, but they were in control basically the whole time. The only times the points really ticked over to Venom Cheese is when they kind of let it happen. It's pretty rare to see a team not really lose that high ground positioning the whole time and still almost give up half the percentage for them. But now we shift over to University, believe, right? I always forget the names of these maps.
Yeah, this one is University.
Okay. Well, I do like, we're gonna probably see Reinhardt's coming out. Yeah, already both teams over to the Rein Zarya composition. Something a little more brawly, which might be more suited here for the Venom Cheese. They didn't seem to like the dive that was coming out from the Yikes too much, that kind of counter dive they were running, but now both teams going to be forced to be a little more brawly. Catmask's still going to be opening on that Sombra, trying to get some picks. No Lucio there for that Rein Zarya to run around, where we do have that Lucio May Reaper on the side of the Miami Yikes, so they're going to be a very close-knit unit with that May Reaper.
And once again, we see Miami Ice taking control of the high ground right away, while Venom Cheese is going for the point presence. So once again, we're going to see which side fares out on top. Once the point starts to unlock, we're probably going to see control go over to Venom Cheese unless Miami Yikes chooses to contest it. And here we go. The point is unlocking, and that is slowly ticking in Venom Cheese's control, but that's going to be Miami Yikes with the engage. But Den Vega was ready for it with the charge, taking out the Rhine and May immediately. Stonky is trying to even things out on the point for Miami Yikes, but the numbers are all in Venom Cheese's favor right now. Venom Cheese firmly establishing their dominance on this point with the brawl comp, and like you said, Booth, this comp is definitely more suited for their style.
Yeah, you already see the shatter up for Den Vega, even though they ended up dying in that fight. And I like this aggressive hold they're taking too. My goodness, they're going to keep pushing in. Look at the end of the spawn. Oh my God, Den Vega.
Yeah, he is going to pay for that, but wow, what a pin that was. They're still going to have to reset anyway. Excellent aggressive play coming out from the side of Venom Cheese. This is definitely the style they've been wanting to play this whole time.
Yeah, it is. They're really liking this. I like this Zenyatta switch over here for Shady as well. It's giving Young Lean and Catmask something to dive on once they're able to get that Discord ordered up. And Catmask just got caught out there, but they're going to have the EMP Shatter available for them. That's a huge fight win, where the tanks for Miami Yikes still trying to build ult percentage. Not too much here, just besides Shy's Coalescence going to be available, but not going to be able to eat through everything that Venom Cheese has.
Here comes the engage with the Coalescent, but shut down immediately by the Shatter, and here comes the follow-up from Venom Cheese. Den Vega is just reading this team like a book. Stonky is trying to clutch it out, trying to make the numbers more even for Miami Yikes, but it seems like Venom Cheese, they're just going to back off on that. They're like, okay, you just want to kill our team, then we're just going to back up. We're going to come back to where we have control, and there comes the grab from Venom Cheese, punishing that aggressiveness from the side of Miami Yikes, and that is going to be Venom Cheese cleanly taking out Miami Yikes and establishing control of this point on University here.
Yeah, last fight territory here. Yikes definitely have the ult to deal with it. They have the grab up, shatter close, May Reaper ultimates available. There is the coalescence for Shady, but they got to get the point quick.
Yeah, here comes the grab
canceled?
and Stonky with the follow up, but the trans is there. It doesn't quite save the main healer, so it seems like this fight is still in Venom Cheese's favor. And yep, there comes the shatter. Cat Mask taken out too, and it's all going to be clean up from here. The beat does come out, but it's just a desperation beat. Madjournal is going to get taken out by Den Vega once again, and it's just throwing bodies on the point at this rate. Miami Yikes, they just want to see if they could get a miracle to happen. Here comes a shatter out of Queen Rabbit, but there's no one there for the follow-up. That's going to be Venom Cheese. Just it's all cleanup from here, Booth. And now we're going into an even score coming into our third map of Oasis.
Yeah, look way more comfortable in that Ryan Zarya composition. I mean, on University, it's a little easier once you have point presence to kind of hold it compared to the other point there on Oasis. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here on our third point. Dive still very strongly in control of that high ground and fall down onto the team on point. So we'll see how the teams stick with it. Miami Yikes already switching over to dive tanks. Going to go with the Winston and the Diva. I'm going to see the Sombra on Turtles so far. Venom Cheese, though, going to be sticking slightly similar. Still slightly brawly. You see Phelan, though, off of the Zarya now over onto the Diva, which gives them a lot more of that high ground presence, but they're going to have to be careful. Shady's going to be a target on the Zenyatta in the backline for Turtles and this dive, so they need to be able to peel here. Youngling and Cat Mask, not necessarily not the two biggest peel supports, DPS they could have, but their opening position is going to be everything.
Yeah, this is exactly what we like to see in Overwatch. Two teams not just sticking to the meta, but sticking to what style suits them best. And now we're just going to see which side will come out on top. Will it be the brawl or will it be the dive? And now these teams are just brawling it out on the point. It's really no sides have been traded yet. And just as I say that, Den Vega goes down to Queen Rabbit. So that is going to be the numbers advantage going in favor of Miami Yikes. And with that, it seems like Venom Cheese, they're just going to back off immediately.
Yeah, they're going to have to. It's going to be hard for them to push in without that initiation, although the spawns are coming back for them. The DMAC on the Steinesis as well, but a good ultimate there from Shy is going to help their team push back in.
Yeah, oh, what a beautiful stick off the back of Young Lean, and that might just throw it in favor of Venom Cheese right there. They are going to try and bring it back here, and that's going to be another pick off the back of Cat Mask, so this is their chance. They got to push right now. They do have a trans on hold in case they need it, but they're not going to. Venom Cheese, they're just going to clean everyone up from here and take control of the point. What a turnaround.
Yeah, this is, a lot of ultimates invested before the point even went in there for both teams. So now it's going to be interesting to see how the ultimate economy kind of shifts around each way. Turtles has that EMP available. Steinesis not close to the bomb yet. They might be able to farm that up here, but Cat Mask has an EMP of their own. So you can see how they use it. Both of these Sombras need to get it off early. Oh, it
gets 4 with that EMP, and Stonky and Turtles are there with the follow-up. Miami Yikes, they just know how to play aggressively here. That's the thing with this more Sombra Reaper oriented comp, Booth, is that whichever team pops EMP first, whichever team plays more aggressively, usually comes out with the advantage at the end. It's really just a battle of who could run into the other team more aggressively and faster, and who could trade those cooldowns better.
Yeah, and now Turtles is going to be building up towards an EMP in this next fight, while Cat Mask is going to be holding on to it. But they have 5 ultimates on the side of Venom Cheese. They need to use them quick here, though, before the Miami Ice can build up any more of their own, because they have 4 online, about to be a 5th as well. So going to be a lot of ultimates invested here, but if Cat Mask can negate all this with their EMP.
Yeah, Venom Cheese definitely have a lot stocked up, but Miami Yikes, they are prepared. So we'll see if Miami Yikes are going to go for the contest. They are. The monkey will drop, and he is getting surrounded. Oh, and he jumps out of the EMP. The EMP does connect on 3, but that was an excellent move from Queen Rabbit. Not exactly going to pay off, though, because Venom Cheese, the numbers are just piling in their favor, and that is going to be an eventual control of the point. Yep, there's Young Lean just cleaning up on the rest of Miami Yikes, and Venom Cheese definitely showcasing how strong they are with the brawl comp here.
Yeah, doing very well for them. They didn't have to use anything besides the EMP into that fight, so a big fight win for them. They have Pulse Bomb up here, they have Bomb Shatter, they have both support ultimates, and up to 50% now. If they can stagger these out, they're looking in pretty good shape, and I like this aggressive hold from them as well. They're not even going to let the Miami Yikes dive into them on point. They're going to face them in this choke.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty much another hold here of this fight for Venom Cheese, unless Miami Yikes can pull off a miracle Death Blossom. But with the Trends and the Coalescence waiting for him, I'm not sure how likely that's going to be. They are going to contest the high ground and D-Mech Phelan, so that is going to... Oh, and it does pick off Queen Rabbit as well. So just when we thought Venom Cheese was going to be starting this fight with a disadvantage, they turn it around, and now Miami Yikes, they're on the back foot. The only way they're going to be able to take this back is either they go all in or they or they fall back immediately. And it looks like they were going to go on the aggressive, but then Vega was so ready for it. Stonky trying to pop the last minute desperation Death Blossom. We are coming into last fight territory. They might get Miami Yikes might get a last minute recontest here, but it's all in Venom Cheese's favor.
Yeah, it really is. Queen Rabbit dying really hurt their team there. They didn't know if they should be pushing in or if they should be waiting. And what a pulse bomb there. Oh, triple kill from Young Lean.
Wow, what an excellent play coming off the side of Venom Cheese. See, this is exactly what we've been wanting to see from this team. The last time they played, they seemed like they were being pressured into playing the Reaper Sombra dive, and it didn't seem like their team coordination was quite on that level. And now we're going to see Oasis coming in favor of Venom Cheese, playing to their strengths, just like they should be. I am already excited for the rest of this match, Boo. This looks like it's going to be really close.
Oh, it really is. It's going to be an interesting format again, first to four. So Miami Yikes with the loss there is going to have the map pick here. So they're going to be looking for something, if I'm their coach, at least be thinking, something where that dive composition still benefits them. Oh, what a great job there from Stonky. That was a fantastic Death Blossom. Yes, new playoff map pool, of course. So Oasis now off the mark here for the rest of the night. Hanamura, Temple of Anubis, or Volskaya Industries going to be available for the Miami Yikes to pick here. I don't really like speculating on maps because, I know teams have their own opinions on things, but you got to think they're going to be going for something that allows them to keep running that dive composition. They looked really strong on that first point when they were able to initiate fights on their own, but as soon as the Venom Cheese are able to take matters into their own hands with that brawl comp, it seemed like a tale of two, like a totally different game there at the beginning.
Absolutely. And this is going to be an interesting decision for Miami Yikes because everyone knows how to play Kings Row. Everyone likes to play Kings Row, but if they pick that map, it seems like we're playing... Oh, no, we're playing Assault next. Okay, but hybrid, for future reference, when we go into hybrid, we'll have that conversation to talk about.
No, we'll see Kings Row then, don't worry.
Yeah, but we're going into Assault for the next map. So what kind of map do you think does actually plays into their favor with the dive competition?
Well, definitely, I don't think Volskaya. I think that would definitely fit more over onto the side of Venom Cheese. Hanamura and Temple of Anubis, you can see the dive working pretty well there. I think sometimes, normally that symmetric comp is just so powerful. I don't know why, especially in Harmony tier, you normally end up seeing it because it's hard to counter unless you're setting things up properly. But I think dive on Temple of Anubis first point's very strong on that attack. Even on defense, you see some of the Transcendency teams are even running really good Winston compositions. When you get those high grounds, you can fall down and then counter dive in. So Temple of Anubis would probably be my pick if I'm the side of the Miami Yikes. We haven't seen tons of long-range hit scan come out of either teams yet, so they don't have to worry too much about some potential Widowmakers coming through. But Anubis would let Turtles play the Pharah if they wanted as well, which has been a pretty strong pick for them. You don't see the Pharah as often on Hanamura. But as I say that, we go to Hanamura. It looks like is the pick here for the Miami Yikes, but which I think it's a better pick than Volskaya at least.
Yeah, Volskaya definitely tailors to Venom Cheese playstyles, so I'm trying to avoid tailoring to playing into Venom Cheese's hands. So any map other than Volskaya probably would do the job just fine. Interesting pick on Hanamura though. Venom Cheese might actually force the brawl here. You could make it work on first point. It's really hard to make it work on second. So if Miami Yikes is able to take that first point right away, it's looking like a steamroll if Venom Cheese try to force the brawl here.
Yeah, it is. Because Venom Cheese was our away team, they got the pick sides here. So now they're going to be on the defense. They're going to be defending first. So Miami Yikes will have that offense now, which is going to be interesting for them to see if they can... what they're going to be able to run out. They don't have to worry about Venom Cheese is going to have to worry about that dive right out of the gate. So that's going to be good for the side of Miami Yikes, I think. Venom Cheese has got to pick something. They have to prepare now. They need to maybe have some kind of long-range hit scan to deal with the Pharah, if possible, because you still can see that, I think, almost in any Harmony tier games, and even most Discord tier games, at least here in Tranquility. So going to be up to whatever composition they pick here. The May, of course, could be really strong. We saw them pulling that out on Second Point University on Oasis, and it worked really well for them there. So we'll have to see if they continue that up onto Hanamura. And then, of course, at least one nice thing about Assault here for both teams is that they don't have to worry about any of these maps coming up later, because we could go up to 8 maps potentially tonight. Last season or the season before, ended up getting an 8 map cast in, but this will be the last time we see Assault tonight, just because of the number of times the teams can end up drawing here. So we don't have to see Volskaya or Temple coming through, but yeah, I'm excited for Hanamura. I'm hoping we don't see Symmetra straps out of both sides, but I'm kind of expecting that a little bit.
I don't know about you, Booth, but I want to see some Torbjorn on this map.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if Miami Yikes are going to go with the dive. I want to see Venom Cheese go all in with the brawl and the counter dive. If they get a Torbjorn in there, it's going to make my heart so warm. I'm really excited for that. Please, I'm crossing my fingers for it.
I feel like that's every DPS's coach's favorite map to VOD review on, because they can swing through and show you where all the turret locations should be. And they're like, look at this great one behind the rock, and look at this one, look at this one. Or I always like going to that. Yeah, like, look at the sight lines you can get with this turret.
Well, if you put the turret here, you could actually shoot through the window. You probably didn't know that before, but yeah, no, you can put it here now.
It's always the best.
Dwarf strats are the best strats. All right, now we're going to be moving over into Hanamura. And Booth, well, we said that the name of the game here is aggression. So just considering that Venom Cheese is going to be on defense and they are likely not going to be able to succeed with the dive mirror, how do you think they're going to be able to play the brawl successfully here?
So they need to have a May here, I would think. If they're expecting some kind of somber composition out of the Miami Yikes, they need to be careful and have some kind of high damage burst to deal with that right away. Junkrat's sometimes a pretty good pick for that. Reapers can be good if they get the wall up there. That can block off the sides very well. You see Cat Mask already on that May to deal with that. I do like the pick there from Young Lean over to that Ashe. It gives so much value for them with dynamites. Especially on the counter dive. You can't stress how much a coach gun honestly can really do for your team, just by forcing them to dive you on the low ground and then jumping up to the high ground. Then you just took away a lot of the advantage their team already had. But they're gonna have to deal with the Symmetra Turtles starting on that. They're gonna see Miami Yikes starting with kind of a Ryan Zari composition here, and then with the Baptiste as well. So they got to be careful for that immortality field.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sustain from the side of Miami Yikes. But we didn't even talk about this. Venom Cheese, they're coming out with a double main tank composition. Not something you traditionally see really anywhere in competitive play. And here comes the teleporter strat coming out from Miami Yikes. And there's the dive coming in, baiting out the immortality field early. That's going to be huge coming into the ongoing fight. And Venom Cheese, they're waiting for it. They want Miami Yikes to engage, but they're too scared to. They know that they don't have enough healing and they don't have the immortality field now. So now time's just ticking off the clock. And there comes a huge wall off the back of Cat Mask. See if they're going to be able to follow up on it. And they won't be able to get the Ryan, but they will get his subsequent teammates. And that is going to be a huge fight win coming off the back of Venom Cheese. That dive of the Wiston, baiting out the immortality field there. Huge plays coming out from Phelan.
It really was, and Phelan already up to 65 on the ultimate. They get so much cleave damage when they're able to get up on that teleporter and get that the Tesla cannon in, and of course with the leap as well. And already see the switch. Turtles going over to the Sombra now, Shy going over to the Moira, and Steinesis going over to the Diva. So gonna run something still brawly here. They don't have the Zarya anymore to help protect this Reinhardt. They're gonna have to be careful for Cat Mask's walls. It looks like they're preparing, still thinking that there was going to be a Symmetra, so sitting back further on point.
Oh, what a huge pick coming off the back of Shady Nasty. That's going to be a huge reset right there, especially since it was their Moira. Yeah, Miami Yikes, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
It is. It's so hard, when, especially they only have 4 members because the Sombra's sitting at choke. So they're going to fall back in, try to get around. But this is a weird split for both of these teams.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder what is the purpose of the Diva with this composition on the side of Miami Yikes, because the Diva really has nothing to eat other than Ononades. Everything is cleave damage, melee damage, the Reinhardt, the Winston. So it seems like they would benefit more from running a Zarya here, don't you think, Booth?
Yeah, I would think so, and they got to be careful for all these ultimates that Venom Cheese has here. They're basically had 6, just use the nano boost there. A good disengage though from the Miami Yikes, but they got to be careful. There's still Blizzard, there's Bob, there's Shatter. They have a lot they're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, they're coming in with the engage, but Phelan is ready with the Primal Rage. He's going to re-engage here, and he gets hacked in the beautiful reposition there, not allowing Miami Yikes to follow up on that hack. And now they're still stuck up top, and Booth, time is just ticking off the clock here. They are not, Miami Yikes, they are struggling to make a move.
This is like their second full engagement here.
Oh, but a huge shatter from Queen Rabbit. Huge with a double kill coming off the back of it. Young Lean trying to clutch it out with the Bob, gets a double. So this is looking even. Young Lean with a triple, taking out Stonky right away, and Young Lean clutching it up for his team. What a huge play with the Bob and the picks right off the bat. That is such a you got to be so mechanically gifted in order to pull something like that off for your team. And Young Lean, he came out.
Yes, they did. That's really big for Venom Cheese. I mean, they used a lot of ultimates in that fight, but with 45 seconds left, it's going to basically be an overtime cap here with no caps percentage for the Miami Yikes. So they have the ultimates to deal with it here with the Death Blossom and the EMP, but with pushing into overtime, that gives them a lot of defensive pressure here.
Yeah, and here comes the EMP. They are going to try and engage off of that. Stonky getting the double off of it with... Stonky getting a Death Blossom kill off of it, and now they're going to push onto the point. Young Lean trying to poke them out from a distance, but that shield from the Reinhardt is denying any damage. He's trying to pump into him. Yeah, it looks like Venom Cheese is finally going to fold over and give the point over to Miami Yikes. But what an excellent hold coming out from Venom Cheese.
Yeah, fantastic hold, and they have ultimates to help stop the snowball effect here. So Stynesis, they have double support ultimates. They have Stynesis, I think, is close to the bomb. Yeah, has the bomb with the remech now. But Venom Cheese have a Bob. They have Nano Boost. They have the Primal Rage here to deal with this. So effectively stopping the snowball before it's really even going to start.
Yeah, but Miami Yikes, they are coming in here with a double support ult here, so it's really about who plays the most aggressive, who is able to, well, the question, will they layer those support ults? We're coming out with the Moira ult, and that is Den Vega going down already. Miami Yikes just whipping out the ultimates right away, going in with that aggression like we were talking about, and while they're not on point yet, Young Lean throwing out the Bob, getting a pick onto Queen Rabbit. This could turn around, especially with the defensive positioning going in favor of Venom Cheese. And Young Lean getting another DMAC and another kill. Young Lean just getting pick after pick on this Miami Yikes squad, going completely uncontested. And Booth, that looked like it was going to be over for Venom Cheese right there, possibly, especially with the pick off of the Coalescence. But Young Lean turning it around once again.
Really did a fantastic job here on the Ashe so far, and it allowed their team to build up a lot of more ultimates. A minute 51 is left here for Miami Yikes on this attack. The EMP back here from Cat Mask, and we had to use the Lucio beat on the side of the Yikes, so not able to counteract that here, so they got to be careful. A minute 40 is not lots of time for their team, and Young Lean's going to get another Bob back at the end of this fight at the minimum for how quick they've been charging it.
Yeah, Miami Yikes, they're not going to have much to sustain here, especially since they layered their support ults in the last fight. They'd have to get a huge EMP and deny Venom Cheese's supports any value in order to get any port presence. And Fei Lan just disengaging right away, but a huge shatter coming off the back of Queen Rabbit right away. Cat Mask with the EMP to try and shut it down, but the damage is already there. Young Lean sitting in the back, getting pick after pick once again. Young Lean and Cat Mask coming in clutch. The EMP shutting down any potential that the team had, that Miami Yikes had in order to establish point presence and get any picks. And Young Lean again with the Bobs. Almost every fight it seems now, dude.
That's amazing. They're doing a fantastic job, but Venom Cheese had to use everything in that fight. I mean, they're getting close to the Nano Boost. Oh, they got to find the Sombra? Oh, they almost found the Sombra on the side. The Sombra trying to get picture, gets a good hack there onto the Reinhardt, actually. And, that's a really big pick for the Miami Yikes.
Yeah, Miami Yikes, they got to move on it, and they know they got to get on point right now, and they're moving as fast as they can. The Coalescence popping out, they're establishing their point presence, and they just got to get this other team off the point. Venom Cheese, they are playing their positioning very well. They are hiding around corners. That is going to be Phelan being taken down, and the Nano Boost coming onto Den Vega. We'll see if Den Vega will be able to clutch it up, but getting taken down by Miami Yikes once again, and Miami Yikes getting a huge pick off the back of staggering Den Vega right there, getting caught out of position, and it looks like from there it's going to all start to fall apart. Young Lean trying to clutch it out, but getting taken out by Stonky's Death Blossom. The shatter coming out from Den Vega, but it's not going to be enough. There's no follow-up there, and just when we thought Venom Cheese had this in the bag,
Wow.
they get caught out of position and throw it all away. So sad to see.
Oh my. It was, my goodness, this is such a great defensive hold for them, but they did a great job catching that Reinhardt out of position and saved their ultimates beautifully there for the end. Venom Cheese weren't able to build any up in that overtime hold, but that's huge. I didn't think the Miami Yikes were even going to be able to take second point there and are now in a really good place to at least force a draw in some of the worst case scenario, but we'll be looking for that first point hold. It's going to be interesting now how they do here on the defense. Venom Cheese showing that they're more of a brawly composition, not as divey as we saw out of the Miami Yikes. So a really good May here from on this defense could really stop that in the tracks for them. Venom Cheese right now in spawn on a dive composition though, so expecting that May, trying to get around the wall, but there's no May available right now. They're gonna have to be careful. They have Den Vega on that wrecking ball again, but Turtle's still on the Sombra, and it's such a hard counter to that hero. It's so difficult to play that like freely. So we'll see how that works out for them. I like this composition from the Miami Yikes. I only worry that they don't have lots of hit scan to deal with some of the pressure, and Venom Cheese could switch to Afara and really poke back from choke here and get a lot of uncontested space.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get value out of the Wrecking Ball or the Winston, especially with a Reaper and Sombra on the other team. Two heroes that pretty much hard counter both of those tanks. It's going to be very difficult to see, and they're already a hack coming out on Den Vega. They're not going to get the kill there, but that just shows the kind of pressure that Turtles can put on the side of Venom Cheese by just existing. He's going to be able to back out here, but yeah, that's already going to set the tone for the rest of this attack round.
It is, and they're going to be poking from spawn. I like them taking point here, but Miami Yikes can be ready to push right back into it.
Yeah, they're just waiting for an advantage, and Shady Nasty getting a huge pick onto Turtles with the Sombra gone. That's going to give the Wrecking Ball a huge opportunity to engage, but he's in the backline all by himself. He's got no team to support him, so that's going to be cleanup for Miami Vikes, and Venom Cheese, they're going to have to reset.
It is. Oh, good spy check in there from Steinis as well, catching out Cat Mask. But Turtles already 75 to the EMP. Definitely getting a lot of work for their team, and already you saw how much it was able to help delay that dive by putting pressure on the Den Vega in the back line. But the dive already starting to get ready to come in here. They're running the Mercy here on Mask, who's done a pretty good job healing for Shady, but they need to be more careful.
Yeah, very surprising that they're choosing to stick with this dive, Venom Cheese, especially when we know that Brawl is their advantage. Oh, someone falling just out, Alishi falling low on the side of Miami Yikes, but they're not going to get away with the pick as Faye Land falls down, followed by Shady Nasty getting taken out by Stonky. And yeah, it looked like a clean dive coming out there from the side of Venom Cheese, but Miami Yikes, they were ready for it, and they just subsequently countered them. The monkey and the monkey and the Wrecking Ball are just getting no value here, Booth.
Yeah, they're not. They were able to get at least a tick out of that fight, so they don't need to go for all three anymore. But 2 minutes left. Not tons of ult. I mean, they're getting really close to some ultimates here, but they got to be careful. The Miami Yikes have just as many on their own. They have the EMP that will completely shut this down, so it's up to see if Cat Mask can get theirs off for it first, or if Turtles gets a bigger EMP. Yeah,
that EMP is going to be huge. Huge discipline coming out from the side of Turtles, but if you saw that he got hacked and he has to pop the EMP late, and now Venom Cheese popping out their own EMP to try and catch out the enemy Rhine, but the beat is going to let Queen Rabbit escape, and now Venom Cheese, they're put on the back foot once again, but the double mines coming out from Den Vega, they're going to clutch it out, and Venom Cheese, just when we thought it was all over for them, Den Vega coming in clutch with the double mine kill and just completely eviscerating Miami Yikes on this point.
Yeah, a minute and a half for them too, so they're gonna have pretty much the same ult bank that the Miami Yikes had on their attack here. So 4 minutes is a lot of time, but it really just comes down, can they cap with any time left here, because that will spell a pretty big disaster for the Miami Yikes. They really want to get the win here, even a draw, although not as bad as a loss. In this 1-4 format is just a waste of a map for them. They really want to get this win.
Yeah, Phelan establishing that point presence and a huge hack onto Queen Rabbit, forcing her to fall back. And yeah, but the peel is going to be there from the side of Miami Yikes. So Venom Cheese, they got to make a move here. They're kind of just sitting back. They're waiting for something to happen and capitalize on an opportunity. But with Young Lean falling, they're not going to have much to go on. And a subsequent hack coming onto the Wrecking Ball, yeah, that's going to be a disengage for Venom Cheese right here.
It is. I'd say it was a good dry fight because they didn't use any ultimates, but I don't think they really had any ultimates available to use. But we'll consider it a good dry fight for them. But they didn't really bait anything outside of the Miami Yikes, who just built up their own ultimates in that fight too. They have both DPS ultimates, Donkey with that Death Blossom and the EMP from Turtles. Both support ultimates about to be online as well. So they have to be able to stagger these through. Cat Mask landing a big EMP could help open us up for their fight here, but they don't have as impactful ultimates there like Stonky does with the Death Blossom.
Yeah, and they can't start a fight like that. They are going to be able to get the res off, but that's going to be a res that they won't have for the fight that follows. And huge hack coming onto Den Vega, just sitting on the point now like a sitting duck, and it's going to be up to Miami Yikes to capitalize, and they get the point.
Oh my
they
goodness.
get the point. I wasn't even paying attention because I really did not think that that would ever happen. Venom Cheese taking the point under Miami Yikes' noses, Booth.
Oh my god, I'm blown away. That was I was watching the timer and I'm like, no, they're gonna step down, right? Oh my goodness. Well, Venom Cheese. They have 3 minutes now to take first point there. That is heartbreaking if you're a Miami Yikes fan. I mean, they were looking so pretty with their ultimate economy about to be set up. They had a great job on that first hold without having to use any ultimates, and now they're just playing do or die just to try to get a draw out of this.
Yeah, we talked about Miami Yikes having to go for the draw, and it looks like that's just what they will have to do. Booth, I'm gonna tell my kids that was the Bay of Pigs invasion, because that was all in Miami Yikes' favor. All they had to do was step on point and contest it. They even had the ult advantage there, and they still lost it. I am just flabbergasted.
Oh my! I'm still blown away. Well, Miami Yikes have got to bring it back in together here. I mean, first to four, there's so much that can happen with this. If they get a draw out of this, that'll be a huge momentum swing for them. But Venom Cheese still looking in really good shape. They can kind of run something a little more unconventional to start with if they want. Young Lean looking for that pick with the Widowmaker. If they're able to get any picks whatsoever, that will be huge for them. All they need is one tick. And if they can bait out an early res, or even better, pick off the Mercy, that would be huge for them.
Yeah, and all they needed, like you said, all they need is one pick off the back of this Widowmaker, and they got time. They got a full 3 minutes.
Yeah.
If the Widowmaker isn't getting value, they could just swap over to the Tracer and get Pulse Bomb within 1.5 fights. So it's really no disadvantages from playing this Widowmaker here. They are going to engage on the side of Miami Yikes, and they're going to be playing super defensively. They're just waiting for Venom Cheese to engage so that they can try and get counter them with the dive. But the Mercy gets taken out by Young Lean. That's a huge advantage. And now it's go time for Venom Cheese. They got to move off the back of this. Den Vega gets taken out. The numbers are in Miami Yikes' favor, but without that Mercy, they have to engage. They have to go for it. But they're hesitating. They're not going to. Yeah, they're hesitating. They're just taking the high ground. They're playing it slow. And Venom Cheese, they had a huge advantage there, and they didn't capitalize.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for them. They still have a minute and a half. Young Lean making the swap over to Ash now, actually. So losing some of their ult percentage. But, this is enough time still. A minute 40 is enough for a normal Ash player to still build up ultimately, let alone Young Lean, who's done such a great job with that tonight. But they're going to have to be careful. Den Vega's getting really close to those mines.
Huge power driver there off the back of Den Vega, getting very close to those mines, and Fei Lan also getting close to the primal.
That's big.
There's going to be a lot of sustain. Turtles getting taken down. They're going to res it, but that's a res that they won't have for the fight that follows. And but a huge pin and nano onto Queen Rabbit, who's going to take off 2 members of Venom Cheese and immediately give them put the fight in their favor on Miami Yikes. A shatter coming off the back of Queen Rabbit, and Booth, that really looked like it was going in Venom Cheese's favor, and once again, Miami Yikes comes out with the clutch. A draw is looking more likely here.
It is. The big one, Steinesis did not die in that fight, so they're keeping the energy up going into this next one. The EMP, though, on both sides available. Catmask versus Turtles. Whoever gets this one off first is, my guess, is going to win this here for their team. I like the defensive position here from Turtles for kind of that counter EMP, but it's all up to Catmask here for their team to try to catch as many members as they can and try to get some big follow-up.
Oh, the preemptive Valkyrie, that's huge off the back of just Ashley. And now that Miami Yikes able to take out Venom Cheese with all that extra sustain they have. The EMP was there, but it didn't get anyone for Venom Cheese to capitalize on. And now this Wrecking Ball Winston comp is really starting to fall apart, and the weaknesses are really starting to show for Venom Cheese. This is looking like a draw.
It is. I don't think anybody was expecting a draw after what we saw there at the beginning. And yeah, it's just going to be Stall coming in from the Miami Yikes trying to get in. They do have the Primal Rage. Youngling's getting close to the Bob as well. The good job there from Shady Nasty as well to keep their team alive. This might be close.
Yeah, it is possible here for Venom Cheese. And Phelan gets a pick onto the Mercy. That is also huge. And
supports?
Yeah.
The shatter.
Yeah, that's gonna the shatter coming off the back of Queen Rabbit. But this fight is looking pretty good, honestly. This could go anyone's way, and with Venom Cheese having the better respawns, they're gonna come in with more bodies on the point and take it at the last minute. Venom Cheese, this map just going back and forth. We really didn't know which way it was gonna go. You think the fight's in one team's favor, and then it switches over to the other with one clutch play. Booth, even though this is a 2-0 series, this match is as close as it could possibly get.
Oh, it really is. I mean, honestly, I think the Miami Yikes looked really a lot stronger on that map. If it wasn't for the unfortunate end part there onto point B, I think they would have held that there, and that could have been a map win for them. But still have tons of time to deal with this year. I mean, first of four, we've said multiple times. I keep repeating it because so many teams this week, I'm just waiting for the messages in some of the moderator chats where they're like, this team completely forgot it was first to four and they played 4 maps and it's over. So I'm just trying to remind everyone, please do first to fourth this week. Because you don't want to be the first team to forget about it. Hybrid, though, going to be coming up. Miami Yikes still have the pick here. We have either Eichenwald, we have Kings Row, we have New Bonnie. We're going to see Kings Row at some time. This might be a great time for them to pull it out, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And audience, I'm just letting you know, chat, you're going to see it. One time there's going to be a 3-0 in the playoffs, and they're going to think that's the end of the game, and they're going to leave the lobby, and we're going to have to go to a break. I'm just letting you know. It's going to happen. I'm preparing your minds for it. But yeah, the Venom Cheese coming out on top, and if they go with Kings Row here, that is definitely going to play into their advantage because the Brawl Cop is definitely their strong suit. We saw them come out on top with the dive and the Winston Wrecking Ball, but that only seemed to be just barely. And honestly, I think a lot of luck played into that map win on Hanamura as well. So do you think there's any other possibility for Miami Yikes going into the next map?
I mean, hybrid maps seem to be, at least on paper, a little better for some of these brawlier compositions. Eichenwald's totally not a bad pick for them at all. I think New Bonnie is the worst pick they could go with. But you couldn't, I don't think you could see wrong out of either side. You got to double check with them because they haven't set the Blizzard World right now. And unless I'm completely missing my notes, that's not part of our map pool. Although I wouldn't want to pick Blizzard World here either. And that's, if I was them, that seems to be I think that's a decent dive map. We'll see what they go with there. Miami Yikes need to pick something though that just enables them to keep on this Ryan Zarya composition and not have to worry about that high ground advantage they're going to get with that dive, because they don't seem to be as comfortable in the Somber Reaper, which I mean isn't really a direct dive counter. I think that was more initiated in OWL because of how good Roadhog was at the time, but it's seeming to be a pretty good dive counter, at least for a lot of the way that the Harmony teams are playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Miami Yikes, they are still playing it close. It's really about the little micro plays, the little micro decisions that are letting Venom Cheese come out on top in the end. So this match could still really go either way. We could see Miami Yikes turning around on Eichenwald here. So it's going to be very exciting to see. Booth, if you're their coach right now on Miami Yikes, well, what are you telling this team? How are you going to get them to turn it around?
Well, I'd be telling them we need to keep aggressive. In the fights that they've done so well on, they've been the initiators. They've been going in, popping the ultimates first, and making Venom Cheese react to their style of play. When they're on this reactionary play where they're letting the EMP come out first from Cat Mask instead of them using their own, I think they seem to be I mean, obviously you're at a disadvantage when you get EMP'd first, but when they're not dictating the style of play, they totally seem to be at least not playing their style of Overwatch. On this brawl composition, when you can just rotate ultimates perfectly across each group, when you set up these good combos, you need to be the ones instigating it. And I always try to tell my teams too, I'd rather have you be the ones ulting first so that you're the ones charging your ultimates back up again in the second and third fight, even if you don't get a 5-man with it, you just need to start using those abilities. I mean, if you're not using it and it's just sitting there, one, you're not alt tracking them as well. That's a big benefit you get when you're able to alt more often. You're able to then better track the enemy ultimates because you can compare it to your own. So I'm hoping the Miami Yikes stay aggressive here. They're going to be on the attack right now on the D.Va and the Winston, not going with the Rein Zarya yet, which is an interesting point here on attack.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We are going to see the Rein D.Va coming out instead of a Rein Zarya, so a little bit of a hybrid between Dive and Brawl. We obviously, since Rein is the main tank, he is going to be dictating the pace of this composition, but especially on Eichenwald, D.Va is going to be a huge asset here. With the high ground on the bridge, D.Va has a lot of extra mobility that could just deny space from the enemy team just by existing in that area, so it's going to be interesting to see how the attacking team plays this.
Yeah, I like the D.Va too for spy checking when Sombra's been so prevalent so far in tonight, with both teams running it right now. So I like the D.Va pick on both sides.
Yeah, so we are going to see Miami Yikes coming out on the attack here with the standard dive comp with the Reaper and Sombra and the DPS slots, and they are just going to circumnavigate that entire Brawl comp. They don't even want to fight it, and Venom Cheese, they know that they're trying to get around it. They want to avoid the fight as much as possible. So Venom Cheese, they're just going to stand on point. They're going to say, well, you can't avoid us. You got to come fight us. And as we say that, Young Lean is just taking pop shots at Miami Yikes from afar, and they're trying to hide behind cover, but they just can't do anything about it. They're playing very, very passively, Booth, and like we were saying, that's exactly the opposite of what we thought that they should be doing.
It is. With Venom Cheese to have such a spammy comp with a Shady and Young Lean, I mean, look at the ultimates already. It's 82 to a Bob, 84 to a Shatter. I mean, that's what happens when you're on a dive composition and you just stand there. You don't have that shield to block a lot of that poke damage, and they're going to have to be careful. They need to keep going in quickly here.
Yeah, we are going to, this is going to be their second engage for the side of Miami Yikes. We'll see how they start to play it differently. And Catmass immediately off the bat gets a pick onto the Miami Yikes Moira. The Shatter getting blocked by Queen Rabbit, but it's not going to be enough. The follow-up is there from Den Vega, even though the Shatter is blocked. Young Lean, double Bob kill. Honestly, if Young Lean gets anything less than 2 kills with Bob, I'm frankly unimpressed because he just gets it every fight over and over again.
Amazing.
But wow, great hold coming out of the side of Venom Cheese. And keep in mind, folks, Miami Yikes is the higher seeded team here.
Yeah. The team that was seeming to do really good here in the end. I mean, Venom Cheese had a good stage too, but struggled quite a bit this season. They did get the win earlier on. You got to remember that. And so far, doing pretty well. They have the Reinhardt back. The spawns. They're gonna have the EMP bomb here for Venom Cheese as well. That's a great alt combo.
Yeah, Queen Rabbit falling very low, and that is going to be the Moira trying to keep their Winston up, and the D.Va bomb. Turtle's going to take down Catmass. Young Lean subsequently going to take down Queen Rabbit, and Lucio ult coming out on the side of Miami Yikes. So it looks like this is going to be going into Miami Yikes' favor if they could get the picks off of it, but they can't. So Phelan is going to get a kill onto Turtles, and the members of Miami Yikes are just falling one by one. The hack is going to come on to Stonky. He might have the sustain to survive this fight, but no, he's not going to. And that is going to be Venom Cheese coming back with control at this point once again. And yeah, Queen Rabbit's going to pop the primal here, but it's with an interesting a double kill coming out of Queen Rabbit. I thought Queen Rabbit was just taking time off their own clock on the attack there, but Miami Yikes is going to be able to capitalize on it. And as I say that, Den Vega gets a double kill with the Shatter. So this fight is just going both ways. Either second, folks, I cannot tell you which way this fight is going to go until just now when Miami Yikes came out on top and decided to take the point finally. So honestly, Booth, this is just pure chaos.
I mean, like I'm thinking back to the rule book we have, like how you're supposed to break down fights and like you're supposed to call, oh, this fight's over, this happened, it's over. None of that's appearing here. That was crazy. I mean, both sides investing ultimates they probably wanted to save for the second point, and the Miami Yikes, the seeming, I think, to come out of it on top in the better situation. I mean, obviously they capped card, but look at the ultimate advantage. They have both DPS ults, and I like that they have the Winston here to be able to deal with these high ground. Young Lean sitting up there, but they're gonna try to do their best to deal with it. But a great EMP.
A huge EMP in the Death Blossom coming out from Stonky. Yeah, this is going to be a steamroll on second point here from the side of Miami Yikes. And the second point of Eichenwald really plays into the favor of their comp. So this is exactly where they needed this to happen.
It is.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to take out Venom Cheese as they stall at the checkpoint by the door. That is usually where this second point rather starts to play into the favor of Venom Cheese. But Miami Yikes, they're making all this free point progress, and Venom Cheese, they know that they can't do much about it because of the verticality that Miami Yikes have accessible to them.
Yeah, the one good thing they do have, though, is Young Lean has to sit back by bridge instead of being up on the high ground here for this initiation. But and still, Miami Yikes, though, have got to get back there and not give Young Lean all the space.
Yeah,
Wow.
what a pick on the Queen Rabbit off the back of Young Lean. They are going to engage with the Coalescence, but Mountie Dolly getting a little over aggressive there and getting picked off by Young Lean. No protection from their tanks whatsoever. So this fight is really devolving into falling into the favor of Venom Cheese unless someone could turn it around on the side of Miami Yikes. But no, yeah, that's gonna be the payload halted. And now, honestly, this is where Venom Cheese wanted to stop the payload.
Yeah.
On the bridge here. This is where the advantage of the second point of Eichenwald starts to flip from being in favor of dive to being in favor of brawl. They might get an advantage on the side of Miami Yikes if they could take control of the high ground and take that away from Venom Cheese, but it's going to be really hard to establish any presence on point.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them, and Venom Cheese have so much to deal with here. But, oh, you can't lose Cat Max. Oh, that's huge. They had the EMP up. This is go time here for Miami Yikes.
Yeah, they gotta go, and they know it. They're engaging really fast. Oh, and no! Den Vega shatters right into the Queen Rabbit monkey bubble. Phelan trying to get a Diva Bomb in order to save it for Venom Cheese, but the opposing Diva Bomb is going to be there with the triple, and that is going to be the point going in favor of Miami Yikes. What a turnaround there.
Wow, that was huge. If Cat Mask wouldn't have gotten picked there, I mean, holy cow! If Cat Mask wouldn't have gotten picked, that could have been game over there for the Miami Yikes. But fantastic job for them, and now they're going to keep pushing in, and they have ultimates of their own to keep stalling this out. Venom Cheese, too far forward. They don't have the spawns available.
Oh yeah, huge primal off the back of Queen Rabbit though, pushing that Rhine out of position to push the fight into Miami Yikes' favor, and now the payload is just gonna be steamrolling into the Venom Cheese spawn, and this is exactly what Miami Yikes wanted.
Yeah, it really is. Cat Mask, though, sitting back is going to delay a lot of point. Enough time for Bob to go forward, and now they can take up a lot of space that Bob's applying this pressure.
Yeah, huge dynamite off the back of Young Lean, putting a lot of pressure damage on the side of Miami Yikes, and that's going to be a fight going in favor of Venom Cheese. Only a minute left on the clock for the side of Miami Yikes, so they're probably going to have one, maybe two fights going into this.
Yeah, they have to be able to win this quick here, though. They have a lot to deal with it. Queen Rabbit going over to the Reinhardt.
Young Lean was about to get a pick there onto Stonky, and luckily he got behind cover just in time. But that was cutting it pretty close for Miami Yikes right there.
Oh, they can't keep losing people with only 40 seconds left. This is really one fight for them.
Yeah, once again, it comes down to the EMPs. Whose EMP is going to pop first? And it's going to be Miami Yikes with the Death Blossom to follow. It played completely clean from Miami Yikes. And you could see Venom Cheese tried to pop the Valkyrie in order to counter the EMP, but it was just too late. Den Vega getting a huge shatter, a lot of stuns in there, but there's no teammates to follow up on us, so that's only what Den Vega could have expected there. And now this is just going to devolve into chaos. Venom Cheese, they are throwing bodies onto the point, trying to stall for as long as they can so they could get anything that resembles a regroup. But the ultimates, they're there for Miami Yikes. They're throwing them out and getting picks off of them. The Shady Nasty getting killed, followed by Den Vega, and yeah, it's all stall here for Venom Cheese right now. And it's only a matter of time until the point goes into Miami Yikes' favor. Excellent ultimate usage on the side of Miami Yikes. I gotta be honest, Booth.
Oh, fantastic job for them. They got the massive pick there on the Cat Mask on second, and then they were they were at the ultimate disadvantage going into that fight. Without that pick, that would have been the map finished already. But now they're able to push through, and they balance those ultimates out beautifully. That's where you see the benefit in some of those brawlier compositions. And when you're able to bounce back and forth between Shatter and Grab, I mean, those are fight-winning ultimates in their own. The EMP Death Blossom combo did a great job for them as well, because because Venom Cheese, when they were running that Reinhardt, were very, very grouped up besides Young Lean, who kind of was in the backline on the Ash trying to get some poke damage. So when they dropped those EMPs for it, I mean, there's 4 members standing right next to that shield that would die to those Death Blossoms right away. So I like the switch there from the Miami Yikes. Going to be on the defense here. Right now showing us dive tanks coming out on the defense, not opening with that Rein Zarya. Really don't like the Rein Zarya. I mean, you saw them switch over to it at the very end on 3rd point. I think just because they knew they needed it, but going to try the dive defense. Definitely doable. They're going to have to be careful, though, and really try to put pressure onto Venom Cheese's backline. Shady's going to be able to throw out a lot of Discord orbs without having a Rein shield to block some of the connections there. And right now, Young Lean on the Tracer, not going to be on the Ash. We'll see if they make a switch to that in this kind of dive matchup. But I got to give the advantage to Miami Yikes right now, running that Sombra against Denvega on the ball.
Especially, and you got to look at the linchpin of the Venom Cheese comp here, and that is going to be that Zen Ana backline. It provides a lot of extra damage, and it does a lot of healing, but it is super diveable, super vulnerable to pretty much everyone on the side of Miami Yikes. So if they're able to capitalize on it and catch anyone on the side of Venom Cheese out of position, it's going to be game over from the beginning. And here we are. The fight is going to be breaking out. Young Lean trying to take some shots onto the point, exert some pressure, and that's going to create a positional advantage for Venom Cheese. And they know it. They're going to create an engage, and that's also going to be a player advantage. So they got to go. They got to move right now. And Miami Yikes put on the back foot, but Faylene caught without his other teammates. He knew he had to get aggressive there, but he just got a little over aggressive there and got caught out of position. Stonky subsequently going to be taking out Denvega. Really, this could be going other way, but probably would be safest for Venom Cheese to get the reset here.
Yeah, just fall back. You already build up a lot of percentage towards your DPS ultimates. You're getting close to the EMP. You have the pulse bomb coming out soon. So wait for this, get your respawns, and go back in.
Yeah, and there's going to be Faylene diving in once again, all by themselves. So it's very difficult but. Yeah, just like I say that, Young Lean getting the pulse bomb kill. I was just talking about how Phelan was diving in without any support, but then Young Lean is there with the follow-up. It was all a bait. And here comes Young Lean with the nano boost, cleaning up the rest of Miami Yikes, 1v6ing them almost.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, is he gonna get the melee kill? Is he gonna get the dirty melee kill? Oh no, but here comes the beat out of the side of Miami Yikes. They do not want to lose this point. They've layered their support ults just to make sure they secure it, but it's not gonna be enough.
Oh.
Venom Cheese taking this point almost single-handedly off the back of Young Lean there.
My goodness, how many times has Young Lean stepped up and held on to a point they shouldn't have? A fantastic nano boost there from Mask as well. Gave Young Lean the advantage. I think got like 2 1-clips in there. I mean, practically 1-clipped a full HP Reaper. That's you definitely don't get to expect that out of your Tracers there. So good job out of them. And now they have this Winston composition with ultimates available here on point B, so they can really jump up here onto the high ground. But decided the Miami Yikes, they have the EMP, they have the Death Blossom to deal with this, but that's about it. Shady is going to have to be able to position well here to try to counteract as much of this as they can with the Transcendence.
Yeah, Venom Cheese. But Young Lean with the triple pulse bomb. We were about to set up the fight and be like, okay, well, these possible things could happen if they play it this way, but Young Lean is just here to defy expectations at every turn because he just ends every fight before it even begins.
Oh my goodness, what a performance tonight from Young Lean so far. Definitely not a name we've heard talked about too much and has showed up for their team so far. And with this massive time bank, they would love to be able to push in here with extra time. But Denvega, no, you're too far forward.
And Cat Mask, getting caught out of position there. You could see Cat Mask trying to support the Wrecking Ball there, knowing that the Wrecking Ball is hacked and caught out of position, but it's not going to be enough. It's only going to put the fight more in Miami Yikes' favor. And Venom Cheese, they got to disengage. They got to get out as fast as possible. But there's going to be Miami Yikes getting the cleanup kills and subsequently getting more ult charge off the back of that.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, not another one. Please. Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, first match, we already got a double C9 in the playoffs here, folks.
You can script it better. Cav, you did a great job writing this season in for us.
Well, just when we thought the fight was lost for Venom Cheese, they decided to do something pretty insane and take the point back without under Miami Yikes' nose once again. The EMP coming out from Turtles, and the Death Blossom is there to follow. Venom Cheese, they do try to pop the trance to save it, but it's not going to be enough. And you probably got to question what kind of value the trance is going to get from the side of Venom Cheese right now, because you got the discourse there. Zen is very helpful in the mid fight, but like we were talking about before, Zen is very exploitable, especially if like caught out of positioning at any point. They're gonna have to play this super disciplined, super safe, play their corners exactly right, and that's really hard to ask of any team.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be worth sticking on the Zen right now instead of the Lucio when they switch over to this Reinhardt now. But Cat Mask has the EMP. Youngling has another Pulse Bomb they're going to try to initiate with here. But they got to be careful to not die to some of these earlier ults.
Yeah, they initiate with the Diva Bomb, which does force some players out of position. It's going to be Den Vega taking the fall first at the hand of Turtles. And yeah, that's another fight going in the favor of Miami Vikes. Pretty much over right from the beginning. But Venom Cheese, they do have quite a bit of time left, and they are coming in with an EMP here. So if they can catch out the Lucio and shut down the beat before it even drops, then that's going to be a huge advantage for Venom Cheese.
Yeah, they got to win this early, though. The payload pushing back around across this first choke again. Even if the Miami Yikes lose this fight, they should be able to recontest again. And they're getting close to EMP, but Youngling, oh my goodness, again!
And that's the pick they needed. They have to go off of that. They have the EMP. Here it comes. It's going to be engaged. She goes for the hack first, Cat Jack, and there's the subsequent EMP. Only catches 3 though, but the beat is there with the follow-up. They waited too long in order to engage, and now Miami Yikes, they are going to be able to turn this around, especially with the Coalescence coming in. And now Venom Cheese, they're put on the back foot just when the fight was going completely in their favor once again. The opposing team clutches up and makes a huge play.
Ooh, oh my goodness. Yeah, even though Lucio died, the beat drop came out and saved the rest of the team. Queen Rabbit did fall, but you saw a great job there. They didn't invest too many resources into the fight before it went off, and they were able to then pump out tons of heals there from Mountain on the Moira. Fantastic job keeping their team alive. And now, back in that Death Blossom EMP combo that they've liked so much, but Phelan has the grab now. They don't have anything to counter this year support ultimate wise.
Oh, but Miami Yikes, they made the first move, and that was exactly what they needed to do. Stonky with the Death Blossom getting a double kill, and that's another reset on Venom Cheese. Once again, the fight getting shut down before it even begins.
Yeah, great job out of them. They're really getting more aggressive here, and I love to see it starting off these fights. They're playing at their own advantage here, but now this is the go time for Venom Cheese. A minute left. They have the ultimates. Miami Yikes are still trying to build up to some more of their own, but they have the Shatter, they have Grab, they have the tools to win this.
Oh, what a huge hack if Masca's taken down, but no, it's going to be Turtles following, and there's the grab to follow. Youngling getting the Pulse Bomb stick onto the Diva, but there's not going to get any kills, and slowly this fight is falling apart for Venom Cheese. Shatter! They are going to get the D-Mech, but the Shatter coming out from Queen Rabbit. The Queen Rabbit is going to die in the process, but Stonky is there with a follow-up onto Phelan, and once again, Venom Cheese bringing this fight back from the brink. Venom Cheese, it seems like they're handling... Where are they messing up on these engagements, Booth?
I don't know. I mean, they have the ultimates to win these, but they're just not seeming to combo things well enough. Miami Yikes are just doing such a great job with their positioning right now. They're relying on the EMPs from Catmask to really clean up for them, but they have the EMP Shatter here, but that's not going to be enough for them to fully win out this point. They're going to have to combo these here to win, and it's going to be an overtime push if they can push through it all.
Yeah, they had to get aggressive, and the 6-man EMP followed by the Shatter. This is the moment for Venom Cheese. This is where they got to turn it. And oh, the counter pin coming out from Queen Rabbit. Oh, but it's not going to get any value. The Diva Bomb isn't going to get any kills. So
huge beat!
Oh, but huge beat coming out from the side of Miami Yikes. They are going to get the res onto Catmask, but at what cost? Shady Nasty falls immediately after. So now, Venom Cheese, they're going into this fight. They do have the Nano. Can they turn it around? They might get another Shatter if Den Vega plays it exactly right. But here's going to be this the Death Blossom coming out from Stonky to exert some pressure, but Den Vega still standing. They might be able to turn it around, but the numbers, they're in favor of Miami Yikes. And another Diva Bomb coming out from the side of Miami Yikes right there, and that there's going to be Miami Yikes taking their first map in the series pretty convincingly.
Yeah, oh, I mean, they were doing such a great job on that defense anyway before they let the point get recapped there in the back. So that seemed to be the story here so far for them. When they get on these really close-knit points, they can show off these compositions. And oh, what like that pulse one for the triple kill.
So
oh my
clean.
goodness, that was fantastic. Well, I mean, this is a match right here, 2-1. Miami Yikes seeming to look completely different here when they came to Eichenwald. Definitely the right map pick for them. They were able to pull things back together. They were able to show the aggression when they wanted. And really, like in a 2-1 here, if this could be 1.5 to 1.5, I think it would be. But I think they're looking in pretty good shape here. Pretty good shape.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, Booth. And yeah, Miami Yikes turning it around on their map of Eichenwald there. We're gonna see which map they're going to choose next, but we are going to be going into halftime. Don't go away, folks, because this is an exciting match. We're really looking forward to what is coming up next. We'll have many questions here will be answered. Who will win? Will Miami Yikes bring it back with still one map down, or will Venom Cheese come out on top and bring in the 4-1? Are either of us wearing pants right now? Stay tuned to find out.
Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for coming back with us here after our halftime. We have one amazing match going on here tonight. Miami Yikes versus Venom Cheese. Miami Yikes getting that third map win there on Eichenwald to bring the series 1-2, but this has been a closely contested game out of both teams. On our first to four format tonight, Miami Yikes will be looking for 3 more map wins to close things out as the Venom Cheese are looking to solidify this win and move on here to the next round. But who has the gas in store to get them on to round 2 out of this wild card spot? I don't know if the teams even know yet. Jukebox, do you know by any chance?
No, absolutely not. You can't see my face, but I'm just shaking my head the entire time that you say I have no idea what's going to happen because it's just completely unpredictable. The fight, we think that fights are about to break out and they just end before they even start. We think fights are about to end and the teams just say nope, we're going to keep them going and take the point anyway. And then someone will see 9 2 minutes later. So like,
oh my goodness,
it's really just there's not more you could ask for. If you you want to see some good Overwatch, you got pretty much all the good content you could ask for right here.
I don't think there's any better way we could have started out the playoffs here so far. I'm excited to see what the teams are going to have in store. As we come back in, we're going to be going back to Escort map 4 here for us. We're definitely going to be pushing the 6, 7, 8 maps tonight. I don't think we're going to be ending here anytime quickly. And with that, Watchpoint Gibraltar going to be the pick here out of Venom Cheese as our first escort point here for the night, which I think is a fantastic pick for them if they want to keep running these dive compositions. I mean, how strong they've been able to play here with, especially also this high ground for Young Lean. If they can pull out this Ash some more, I mean, we haven't even started to break down the progress. I mean, how well they've done here on these first couple of maps, and they have been just absolutely like on a different level seemingly tonight.
Yeah, both teams showcasing their versatility here. We went into this game thinking that Venom Cheese, like, oh, they're the brawl team. They're not going to pick something like Gibraltar. They're trying to avoid playing dive. But then on Hanamura, they come out with this Winston Wrecking Ball comp, and they completely, well, not slam. They pretty much just barely scrape by and get the win on Hanamura. But then they keep running it on Eichenwald. So it's very interesting to see both these teams flex their flexibility, I might say, and it's gonna be very interesting to see. We are going to be seeing a Genji coming from the side.
Hey, Turtles is known for their Genji play. We probably are going to get baited on that one, though. I mean, he gets 20. I don't know. Nanoblade's not bad. Out of all the maps, I mean, Gibraltar, you can see it. We won't get baited by the Venom Cheese comp, though. We at least know what they're going to be running. I mean, you're going to keep lean on the Ashe like this, but Den Vega still on the Wrecking Ball. That's an interesting pick out of them.
Yeah, the Wrecking Ball coming out of Den Vega, and interestingly, instead of the Winston, we're going to be seeing the Diva here. We'll see how this impacts Venom Cheese's style of play, but yeah, we are going to see Miami Yikes taking the initial engage here, immediately taking the high ground territory away from Venom Cheese. Very smart plays. Ooh. And Stonky getting an immediate pick on Young Lean right off the back. It might be too risky of a res to even go for it, and that is going to be Miami Yikes trying to turn around by taking the aggressive. And yeah, that's going to be Miami Yikes with a 2-man advantage in this fight, and that's just going to be extra payload progress for them.
Yeah, they're going to keep pushing through. I mean, Venom Cheese have done a pretty good job still holding at this angle, but now that the cart's going under, they have to make a decision to either kind of fall onto the Miami Yikes here or start contesting the payload in the back, and it looks like they're going to be falling backwards, which is the right decision here. They can't give the Miami Yikes too much space here underneath.
Yeah, exactly. But look at all this high ground territory that Miami Yikes is now taking control of. It's going to be very interesting to see how Venom Cheese react to this Cat Mask, getting a kill onto Rabbit, getting caught out with the hack, and that's going to be go time for Venom Cheese. They got to engage, but Shady Nasty getting taken out by Stonky also. So with Miami Yikes down with their off healer, it's going to be this fight could really go either way. Oh, Stonky trying to line up the headshot there onto Young Lean, but Young Lean getting the better of him right away. Yep, that's going to be this fight going in favor of Venom Cheese, turning it around right at the end there.
Yeah, unfortunate for Miami Yikes. They did a good job taking a lot of that space, but they didn't push Cart further enough along. They didn't force Venom Cheese to fall down.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge loss for Venom Cheese right there, though. Young Lean getting taken out right away, and it might not even be a safe enough spot to res because of Miami Yikes already have control of that territory, but they do get the res off. So now we're back into 6v6, and this is now where Venom Cheese have to engage, but just as they think they're given the chance, Turtles comes out with the normal blade, the naked blade, the bare blade, getting 2 picks, and then Turtles getting a 3rd onto Young Lean. So this fight is just completely falling apart for Venom Cheese. Just when we thought that they were going to be able to disengage, regroup off the back of that res, Miami Yikes, they just shut it down immediately.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing Turtles being picked as that dark horse for projectile DPS here in the Harmony tier. Fantastic job there on the Genji, which we haven't seen tonight for them, but oh my goodness, they almost get the full cap there. The Sombra having the touch just in time. They looked like they were gonna push back in with that, but they're not, which is a good pick. But oh my god, Turtles still going in.
Yeah, he's still getting the cleanup. He's getting the stagger kills, and yeah, Turtles gets taken out, but for Miami Yikes, their spawns are right there, so it doesn't really bother them too much. And Young Lean getting taken down once again. Miami Yikes even going to be able to get the res off onto Turtles, so the momentum is just going to keep going in their favor. Venom Cheese, they got to be able to regroup in order to sustain.
Yeah, they got to be careful. Miami Yikes are already taking ship. The fight's starting to break up out of here. Mass throws that nano boost on, but they don't have all of the Young Lean just coming back from spawn for them.
Yeah, Den Vega eyeing that Widowmaker, trying to take her out of the fight as quickly as possible. But the rest of the team is there with the peel on the side of Miami Yikes, and that's going to be Den Vega taken down right off the bat, followed by Young Lean getting taken out from the headshot by Stonky, and that's going to solidify Miami Yikes' control of Shuttle here and control of this second point of Gibraltar as the payload starts to roll into the checkpoint.
It is, and a lightning fast feed for them here so far. They do throw out the Primal Rage there from Styanisis just to try to delay things, but they're actually going to throw out both of their tank ultimates really to keep taking the space, but the cart's still being contested. Venom Cheese trying to win this back again.
Yeah, and the Primal Kill taking out the main healer on the side of Venom Cheese, so that's going to be an awful start for them. Yeah, this fight is just devolving into Miami Yikes' favor, and there's not much that Venom Cheese are going to be able to do to turn around unless Young Lean can get 3 amazing headshots and get a bob right in 2 seconds, but it's not going to happen. You know what? I didn't want to jinx it because there was a possibility that it would happen, but it looks like, yeah, this fight is going to be going to Miami Yikes' favor, and that is going to be the payload falling in their second checkpoint. Yeah, this attack is looking pretty convincing from the side of Miami Yikes.
It really has, and they have ultimates available to deal with this here when they push through. They have Nano Blade available, 60% up to 70 on their other 3 ultimates. They're gonna have sights as well to open this fight up with. Oh, they're gonna try to pick off both the healers. No, they got close to spawned. Oh, that's unfortunate for Venom Cheese. Now they're gonna have to push forward. I mean, they have to fall back. They don't have any healing support, and Miami Yikes can take all of this space.
No, but Den Vega, Den Vega is going with the aggressive play, trying to get a victory pin onto the enemy Wrecking Ball, but it's not going to happen. They're just going to take out Den Vega. But Venom Cheese, Cat Mask, they are going to take out the Wrecking Ball, but that's going to be an easy res for them. And now we're back in a 6v5. Yeah, Venom Cheese has the closer spawns, but Reinhardt is a super slow hero. This is a free Nano Blade for Miami Yikes, getting a kill onto Mask, not from the side of the blade, but Shady Nasty to follow immediately after, and this is looking like a steamroll from Miami Yikes here.
Yeah, great positioning for them as well. Up forward, Dionysus does have the Primal Rage to deal with whoever comes out of spawn. It's really down to if Cat Mask can delay point enough here with the EMP and let their team push back in. But with Stonky up on this high ground, it's going to be hard for them to deal.
Oh, no. Oh, man, he popped the EMP but gets taken out right away, and there's no teammates to follow up. They do throw the Nano onto Den Vega, but Den Vega is purple and not going to be able to get much value. And not even close to Shatter at all. There's pretty much no use getting out of that Nano right there. Den Vega just falling. It was only a matter of time, and subsequently Turtles getting rezzed, and the Widowmaker on the side of Miami on Venom Cheese getting dove in the backline. That's going to be the 3rd point of Gibraltar getting taken by Miami Yikes.
I've liked him on this dive composition. When you see Turtles on the Genji, it's applying so much more pressure onto the backline of the Venom Cheese, and you're seeing that start to struggle with them. Didn't run the Zenyatta on this map. They were switching. I don't even actually remember if they opened. I think they opened on the Zenyatta. But with the pressure that they're able to apply here, it's really starting to show some of the weaknesses in the Venom Cheese then. Their healers are having to deal with the backline being dove so much that the tanks are falling early on in these fights. So good position here for the Miami Yikes. We were thinking that the dive composition was not going to favor them here, but it did here on the attack. We'll have to see what happens for them on the defense as they're coming out of spawn. Turtle's going to stick on that Genji. They're going to run the same composition they were running on the attack there, which was working very well for them. They're going to have the Nano Blade option. They're going to be able to damage boost Stonky there on the Widowmaker. And then they did a fantastic job with those peels for that Ana as well. So we'll see how they carry it over. And their dive looking seemingly different here after this halftime.
Yeah, the Genji might have been the clutch factor for the side of Miami Yikes. They were able to take Eichenwald as well, holding that 3rd point with Brawl. So both teams showcasing, like I said, their versatility, their flexibility. It's very interesting that that Venom Cheese is going to be coming out here. And we were just saying before how they like to keep fights going on for longer than they're supposed to. They clutch fights before they even start, but because of that, they're getting caught out position here on Gibraltar, and it's really their Achilles heel now. We're going to see how they're going to turn it around here on the attack, but that's not a good start. Young Lee getting taken down immediately by Turtles, and once again, this fight is almost over before it even begins. They're going to be coming into it. They are going to get the 6v6, but that's a res that they're not going to have for the mid fight now. And Miami Yikes are going to have a huge advantage here coming into this, not only positionally, but ability-wise with the cooldowns. That is going to be a hack coming in through onto the Miami Yikes Diva, and the peel is there. The healing is going to be there, so there isn't going to be much follow-up, but that is ult charge building up for Cat Mask, almost at 50% already. We're going to see if Cat Mask can build it up any faster. Huge dive coming out from the side of Miami Yikes, and great follow-up onto Faylene, taking out onto Faylene. The tanks of Miami Yikes taking out pretty much everybody on the side of Venom Cheese together, using that teamwork. Huge plays coming out from the side of Miami Yikes.
Yeah, I was starting to get worried. They weren't initiating with the dive. They didn't really push in until the cart came out from underneath the bottom there. Even though they got that initial pick and forced out the res, but 2.5 minutes for them. They got to be careful here because really just one fight needed to win from Venom Cheese for them to push into second.
Yeah, but Miami Yikes is coming in here with the blade already, and they got the nano as well. We'll see if they try to go aggressive here and go for the engage, and they are. They're going to pull it early, and here it comes. Here's the blade, and oh, but not going to get much value out of it. Missing the kill on the Moira, but just as I say that, is going to get a kill onto Cat Mask. Any kill is potentially fight winning, and that's going to be another kill going on to Den Vega. Faylene getting 2 kills in the back line on the side of Miami Yikes, so might be able to turn this around. Phelan getting another kill onto the Mercy with Mask there to follow up onto Turtles. So Venom Chi is turning this fight around just when we thought it was over with the Nano Blade engage.
Yeah, they have the spawns close enough to help get back into this, but they're gonna have to be careful. There's still the cart getting stalled out here as long as they can. The Miami Yikes are gonna be able to full invest here, especially now that Queen Rabbit was able to get back with health, and oh, they're already turning it around as it is.
Yeah, neither team's decided to reset here. Like we said, the fights are just ongoing and never ending. We thought that was a one fight there for Venom Cheese, and Miami Yikes were just going to disengage, but they came back with the spawns and turned it around. But yeah, we really thought that was going in Venom Cheese's favor, but Miami Yikes with the closer spawns able to turn around in the end.
It is, and now they have the visor here from Stonky to be able to initiate with the fight, but they got to be careful. Cat Mask has the EMP, and that's enough for them to be able to take this point. But not if you die first. Oh,
no, getting taken out by Turtles with the dink onto him from Stonky. Huge plays on the Widowmaker there. The dive coming out from Den Vega onto the entire Miami Yikes backline, but it's not going to get anything done without the team there to follow up, and Den Vega knows that. That's why she's going for the disengage. And now Venom Cheese, they got to reset here. They got to have a game plan going into this fight. They have the Coalescence, they have the EMP, they do get a good hack, but they're not giving themselves times to reset. Any one of them could get staggered and picked off in the beginning of the fight at this point. The vines are going to happen, and they are going to engage with the Coalescence. Venom Cheese coming in with 5 ultimates. They have to do something with all of them, but they're not capitalizing. The Coalescence has already run out. They pop Valkyrie, they pop Primal, and there's no value happening. Turtles trying to finish off the Mercy on the side of Venom Cheese, not going to get any value. The EMP coming out of Miami Yikes, and still no kills coming out from the side of Venom Cheese. Venom Cheese just throwing every ultimate they have at the enemy team and just getting no value. Queen Rabbit popping the Primal, trying to deny the Reds, but somehow jumps over the Mercy and lets Phelan get res. But it's probably not going to matter because Phelan, the only one left for his team, and that's going to be a first point hold, likely, coming out from the side of Miami Yikes here.
Yeah, they have to be careful though. They did lose their Widowmaker there, which was a lot of their backline pressure. But with these closer spawns and the Sombra able to hack these targets going through, a very impressive first hold there from the Miami Yikes, evening us 2-2 and looking so dominant on that dive composition. It has been a tale of 2 dives for these guys with these composition switches.
Yeah, what a dominant performance coming out from the side of Miami Yikes. Well, it was so fascinating seeing Venom Cheese pop all those ultimates. They had 5 ultimates going into that fight, and they still couldn't get any value out of any of them. Turtles getting a blade almost every other fight and getting value out of each one. Even when he would get 1 kill, that's still valuable for the team. Turtles coming in clutch for this team, and honestly, looking like the linchpin in this dominant performance here on Gibraltar.
Yeah, I mean, even when they weren't getting kills with the blades, it was applying so much pressure onto the tanks in the backline. I mean, you saw the supports having to play differently. Weren't able to pump out as much healing because they were trying to support each other. They weren't able to initiate as much because they were trying to peel back and deal with this Genji more often. And I think that was the right pick for them. Now Venom Cheese going to have the map pick as we go to our 5th point here. It's going to be a control map. So just a reminder, it's either going to be Ilios or Lijiang Tower. Oasis already off the board here, but Miami Yikes, these last 2 games have been huge for them. Their 2 coaches sitting in the chat here, maybe having a good halftime or helping them go over a few of the things that just weren't ticking correctly on those first couple of points. One thing that might help Venom Cheese out though is that these control points seem to be a little bit scrappier. You don't always get the combos you really want to have going on. Sometimes just running the brawlier compositions can pull things out, which you kind of saw Miami Yikes doing well on at the beginning. But when Venom Cheese was getting to point first on Oasis, they were really dominating and holding points the whole time. They definitely looked a lot better, or more in their zone at least, on that map type here. And we're going to go to Lijiang on our next map pick, which I think is a good pick out of them compared to Ilios. It's just it gives them. I think it gives them a lot of compositional choices they can run if they want to pull out that May Reaper composition as well, or the Somber Reaper. I think that gives them a lot of space on control center. So good pick out of them. But Miami Yikes seeming to be strong across all these compositions.
Absolutely, and just throwing in some analysis from a plat player, that last match, the Turtles came in with a 71% kill participation. That's almost 3/4 of the kills that came in from the side of Miami Yikes. Turtles participated in. That is a crazy stat, and that was just one map. I can only imagine what he's going to do coming in on Lijiang Tower. But yeah, this map is definitely going to be playing into Venom Cheese's favor, not just compositionally, because we know that they. Well, we said that they favored the Brawl because they looked more dominant on it on Oasis, but they've been showcasing their versatility. But yeah, if they could play Brawl more often, it not only suits their compositional style, but also their play style. Venom Cheese, they like to play very aggressively, very grouped up, establishing a lot of point presence, while Miami Yikes, they like to play a lot more spread out, waiting for opportunities, waiting for weaknesses to come in with the Venom Cheese backline and then just jump on them and exploit them. So we're going to see how these two play styles clash on a map that seems to be all in Venom Cheese's favor here in terms of play style.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Venom Cheese though need the win here. 3 map wins in a row is gonna be is already. I'm sure this is a big morale booster for the Miami Yikes, tying things back up. 2 maps still needed for both teams to win here. First to 4 format, and if they end up going down here, having to win 2 in a row on going up to a map 7 is gonna be a big task there for Venom Cheese. So all in favor of the Miami Yikes. The train's going in their direction, but this is the time for Venom Cheese to step up and start and really switch things around. Waiting for readies from both teams, about ready to go in. But I'm interested to see if we're going to see some Pharah gameplay come out of our teams here, depending on which point we open up with here on Lijiang Tower. I'm going to guess we're going to keep seeing that Diva composition, that Wrecking Ball composition, coming out here on a few of our control points, which has always seemed to be some of the better spots for that anyway. And there's so many spots for these environmental kills. We'll see how they keep up with the dive composition there, and if Young Lean's able to get enough support in the back line to deal with those flankers. Maybe have to see the switch over to the McCree now, although they've been doing so good onto the Ashe just to help counter this Genji a little bit, or maybe sticking with the Winston to help deal with things as well. But really, Turtles seeming to be the difference maker there on that last map.
Booth, don't tell me which stage is first. I'm closing my eyes right now. Is it Market?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I know.
That was good. That was good.
Years of Overwatch experience, people playing since day one. That's the knowledge that it gives you. Thank you. Even Juke is impressed, dude. We've established who the better Juke is now. At least.
Oh boy.
Oh no! You can't say anything, Juke.
In the middle of match. Oh, Juke's gonna cut your audio the whole time and just say that it's like because of your desktop and that no one should ever let you cast again.
Oh no! I've got a death mark on my face on the second game casting. What have I done? But we are going to be jumping into Market. We are going to be jumping into Lijiang Market here. Young Lean coming out on the McCree here. Very Night Market. Oh, thank you for correcting me, Juke. It's Night Market. Okay. Thank you. No, coming in with the 1-2 punch onto the inferior Juke. I see. But now we're going to be seeing Young Lean coming out on the McCree. A very interesting choice. Not a choice we've seen much of here. Booth, how do you think this is going to impact their play?
Well, I think they're doing that to expect the Genji play come out of Turtles, who's on the Sombra, but I really like this Pharah play there out of Cat Mask.
Ooh. Huge stun and headshot from Young Lean coming out onto Stonky. So the numbers are even on the side of both teams. We're gonna see how both teams play it. Miami Yikes, not typically in their behavior, they're the ones establishing point presence and getting on point first, while Venom Cheese is put on the back foot, and that's going to be the point going over a Miami Yikes because of it.
Yeah, I like this Moira Lucio composition here for them. It gets them into point. It lets them hold better. They're going to have the coalescence up for this fight. But Young Lean 71% to the Deadeye. Going to try to take that Pharmacy out of the sky. But got to be careful and make sure they don't get hacked from Turtles, though.
Yeah, if this fight doesn't work out for the side of Venom Cheese, I could see Young Lean swapping over after he pops the Deadeye. And it looks like it's going to go that way because Den Vega already getting taken out early. So it's going to be pretty hard for Venom Cheese to bring this back. And yeah, the Diva Bomb coming in just to clean it up. Turtles getting a kill onto Shady Nasty. Yeah, Venom Cheese are going to have to disengage here.
Yeah, they're making some swaps now. Cat Mask over to that Sombra. Vega swapped over from the Wrecking Ball to that Reinhardt in that fight. Still don't running the Moira Mercy, getting that pocket there into the back line. Actually, no, there you go. Shady going over to the Zenyatta now, which I think is a pretty good pick for them. But they got to be careful. 50%, they're pushing up now. They don't have their Zenyatta with them yet, but Mask, they're actually going to pop 2 ultimates right off the gate.
Yeah, Deadeye coming out to exert some pressure onto the point and getting a kill onto the main healer on the side of Miami Yikes, and that's go time for Venom Cheese. They're engaging and they pop the Primal as well, getting a kill onto Madronal, and Mask getting a subsequent kill onto Steinosis. Yeah, this is going to be the point falling into favor of Venom Cheese. Excellent engagement right there, but they had to use a lot of ults to do it.
Yeah, they did. Not going to have much available here to push into the next, where the Miami Yikes have 2 ultimates available. They have both of their support ultimates available. They have the Sombra ult, and they're going to have that Death Blossom as well, which they've done a great job with, especially on Eichenwald. You saw them comboing that, and they're in good position to combo that here.
Yeah, here comes the Death Blossom, and will the Death Blossom follow from the EMP? It doesn't look like it. They don't even need it because they're already 2 men up, and that's going to be a hack coming onto Vega with Turtles there with the follow-up. Turtles playing Sombra, super disciplined, super great play here coming out from Turtles here on Lijiang Tower. Turtles really upgrading his play in the second half of this match.
Yeah, really showing up here. They have the Death Blossom, they have Bomb, they have the Coalescence as well, which Venom Cheese, though, and looking in pretty good shape. They're going to have the EMP Shatter. They have High Noon as well coming up for them, so looking in good percentage. But last fight territory, 85% here for the Miami Yikes. Venom Cheese...
They don't know! Oh, the Death Blossom gets a kill onto Cat Mask, but that's all they needed because the fight is already in their favor. Cat Mask died with EMP, but Young Ween coming out with the Deadeye, getting a kill onto Stonky to finish it off. Vega getting a Shatter kill onto Steinosis, and now this is go time for Venom Cheese. They got to take control of the point. They got to take this advantage they have and roll with it. But still, Miami Yikes are making it competitive. They're not going to give up without a fight, and that's going to be the Miami Yikes Moira falling at the hand of Young Lean. Queen Rabbit trying to establish some point presence, trying to exert some pressure onto the enemy D.Va. Turtles coming in with 2 kills, looking to turn this fight around. Just when we thought this was all falling in favor of Venom Cheese, Miami Yikes is there to turn it all around once again. Both Stonky and Turtles coming in clutch, and Turtles doesn't even need to use EMP in that fight because it was all going in Miami Yikes' favor. Huge DPS plays.
Yeah, that was crazy. I thought that was definitely going over the other way. So great stall there out of both of their teams. They got the picks they needed to hold on to points there. They took out the supports of Venom Cheese, and although they had 4 members on point, you can just chip away when there's no support there to heal up that damage. And they saw that work well for them. The Cat Mask was not wanting to invest at EMP because there's only 2 members left on point. And I mean, when you're planning on winning out the rest of the game there, that's the right choice, but gonna come back to bite them there. They need to win here on this point. If not, it's going to be so difficult for them to turn around here and end up winning tonight. And they're again sticking on this Mercy Ana composition, not going to run the Lucio, McCree, Sombra, but look out for Miami Yikes. We're going to get the point very quickly there with a good teleporter switch from Turtles.
Not only do they have the teleporter, but they have the Lucio as well, something that Venom Cheese are choosing not to run, which is definitely going to give them a disadvantage, especially on Control Center. But that is going to be a huge pick coming off the back from Cat Mask. Just as I say that, they don't even need the tanks to engage quickly if Cat Mask is just going to kill everybody. So now, Miami Yikes are putting the back foot, and that's going to be point control going over to Venom Cheese.
Yeah, I was surprised not to see any Maze coming out from either of the teams here. Good composition still, nonetheless. When you lose your Moira like that, you're going to have to fall back. Look at Young Lean. Oh, my goodness. 85% to the Deadeye already. That's very big for them. I like this aggressive hold they're going to have. They're going to try to get a lot of poke damage in while the side of Miami Yikes pushes back in. But it's going to have to be real careful here. There's still that Sombra of Cat Mask putting in pressure here on the side.
Oh, huge Deadeye there, trying to put some pressure on the Miami Yikes front line so they can't engage onto Vega, but Vega ends up falling anyway. And now Miami Yikes, they're on the aggressive. They got to make plays here, and they got to take control of the point. Mass ends up taking out Queen Rabbit, but it's not going to matter because the rest of Miami Yikes is going to be there with the follow-up. And point control, once again, going over onto the favor of Miami Yikes. But this is what I'm talking about, Booth. Without the Lucio, not only do Venom Cheese not have fast engages, but they have slow disengages as well. If a fight is starting to fall out of their favor, they can't get out and reposition. They got to commit.
Yeah, it's very difficult for them. When those Reinhardt gets hacked in the Zarya, they're not able to help speed them away, and they're just sitting alt banks. But be careful here. Miami Yikes have a lot of ult to deal with this. The Shatter's so close for them. Oh, there it goes. Oh, good block.
Queen Rabbit going for the Miracle Shatter, but not going to get it. Blocked by Den Vega, and that is going to be a Shatter coming out from Den Vega in response. And yep, this point is just going back and forth. 30%, 33% going over to probably 35, 36%, but that's just showing you how even this control point is on Lijiang Tower for these two teams.
Yeah, and semi-mirror-ish compositions in a sense that we're seeing the Rein Zarya Sombras coming out of both teams. It seemed how stable they can be, but now double EMPs available both sides here. Youngling again with the high noon as well. Whoever gets this first EMP off is gonna win this fight.
Oh, but the hack misses the Mercy. She could easily pop Valkyrie, and that's exactly what she does. Venom Cheese trying to even out this fight, even though they just got EMP'd. The Nano coming onto the Zarya as well, but oh, the grab is just gonna shut it all down. Not enough sustain with no defensive ults on the side of Venom Cheese. They played it as well as they could. They tried to jump in with the EMP to try and turn it around. Youngling does get a kill onto Cynosis, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Yeah, this is going to be a complete disengage from the side of Venom Cheese. Den Vega is probably going to get staggered here, honestly.
Yeah, they're hoping to get a little bit more ult percentage up on that. The EMP from Cat Mask at the end gave him a little bit of time. A good job there from Phelan back onto point. If they can get this up to about maybe 90% or so, get it down to one fight territory, that would be huge for their team. And although the Wrecking Ball dies there, I mean, getting up to, I think they're going to get about 80. Oh, no, they're not even going to cap
Queen Rabbit, she's getting caught out.
Oh my God, point. They haven't capped it yet.
Are you...
Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my God, they're just gonna get the overtime from it. Okay. Oh my, that was unfortunate for the Miami Yikes.
Den Vega trying to come out with the Shatter straight into Queen Rabbit's shield, and the EMP coming out from Turtles onto the side of Venom Cheese. And the Coalescence is gonna try and come out to get the follow-up, and Stonky is there to get the kills in the kill feed, and there goes Stonky with the triple, taking out the Cat Mask as well, and the control point percentage just keeps ticking up for Miami Yikes.
Yeah, 66% here. If Venom Cheese plays this right, they should be able to get 2 quick fights out of this, but honestly, with the way these fights have been going, I think it's smarter for them to play this slow, let Youngling try to get some poke damage, let Cat Mask try to get a little bit here onto the side, and then push in afterwards, because 80% left, there's not tons of time available. This is going to be last fight territory for them still.
Oh, Youngling taking the high ground, and Phelan getting a kill onto the main healer on the side of Miami Yikes. That is going to be huge, but the beat is there in response to keep everyone alive, and that's just what they needed as Stonky pops the Death Blossom to take out Masks. Oh, but Youngling getting a kill onto Turtles, and now both healers are back up from the side of Venom Cheese, so this could really go either way depending on where the kills go. The Shatter is going to come out from Queen Rabbit, but not going to hit anybody.
Oh,
the grab is there with the follow-up. It's going to get 2, and that's exactly what Miami Yikes needed. 3 maps in a row going in. Oh, but Den Vega getting the Shatter, not going to be able to get much value out of it because the teammates are not there to follow up. Like I was saying, 3 maps in a row going to the side of Miami Yikes. Super impressive play.
Oh yes, they've had quite a turnaround here so far. That puts them up 3-2 now. One more map needed for the Miami Yikes to get the victory here tonight, and they have seemed to completely turn this train around, and all the momentum swinging in their favor so far. But Venom Cheese still not out of it. They can push a map 7. They got to win 2 in a row as we go to our next one, which is going to be a hybrid map, either Kings Row or Numbani. Going to be the picks for them as they get close there. That was a very close second point there. I think first point was definitely more shifted towards the favor of the Miami Yikes, but that second one, all Yikes coming out on top, but that was just a couple of ults different, couple abilities used differently. We would have had a different outcome, I think, on the end there. And whew, this is one heck of a game. This is so close.
Absolutely. And I'd say Venom Cheese had a lot of opportunities to catch the members of Miami Yikes out of position or catch them when they're using a bad ultimate incorrectly, and they just didn't capitalize. They didn't take the advantages that they had. There was a point where Queen Rabbit straight up just fed into Venom Cheese's backline and had like less than 100 HP, and I'm sitting there like, guys, are you just gonna let them get away with this? And they did. So it's very, very curious plays coming out from the side of Venom Cheese. It's probably just a coordination thing. We know that these guys are all individually skilled. We know that they're able to take maps off Miami Yikes team, from this Miami Yikes team, especially from those 2 map victories in the beginning. Booth, we talked about if you were their coach, how would you tell Miami Yikes to turn around? And you did it. So now, how would you coach Venom Cheese?
Well, if I was them, going into our next point, which is going to be Numbani, they're going to have to try to really get this dive composition working for them. They need to create space for their hit scan for Young Lean to get a lot of damage here on this initial defense. If I'm for them, you need to win this. You need to win this aggressively. You can't just make this an overtime win back and forth. You need this momentum shift to happen for you. You got to win the rest of this out. You got to push the map 7. This can't be your final time here. So, enable your DPS as best as you can. Maybe try to, as much as that Mercy Pocket I think was doing well for them on some of the brawlier points, it's going to benefit them a lot stronger here on this first point defense. On a Mercy, pretty good here. They'll be able to kind of split the high ground a little bit if they want. They can use a counter dive there if they want with their Winston and their Diva over onto Young Lean. So I think they made the right pick going to this map here. They just need to play back on that format that they were playing initially. I mean, they were doing so well of that there on those first 2 maps, and they definitely showed sparks of that here on our last map there on Lijiang Tower. But they need that spark to become even bigger.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Venom Cheese, it's like it was going for Miami Yikes. It's all about the micro plays and small comp decisions that could have just turned any map around, really. Both these maps are just going either way, so it's really just anyone's guess as to who takes Gibraltar. But this, like we said, this is playing into Venom Cheese's favor. They are going to start with the Wrecking Ball and the Diva coming out on this defense here. So it's going to be interesting to see going into this first map. Usually you would expect a Winston, but it seems like Denvega is much more comfortable on this Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, well, if I'm the Miami Yikes then and I see that, I'd be switching Turtles or Stonky over to that Widowmaker. There's not any shield to deal with this. Although, like, the Winston shield isn't, like, the greatest counter to things. If they're able to stand and choke and try to get a pick here, force out a res before the fight starts, and then they don't have that for the rest of the fight, that'd be really big for them. But they're going to go with the Somber Reaper composition still. Winston Diva going to stick with the Moira Lucio that they've liked. And if they're able to get a good dive here, they're able to get a good hack on someone, they can definitely deal with this. But if I'm them, take advantage of the fact there's no shield available.
Absolutely. Now we're going to see Miami Yikes here coming here with their first engage on the attack of Numbani, but a hack already coming out from the side of Catmass onto Turtles from the side of Miami Yikes, and that's going to be the engage. Huge nade off the back of Max, but Max gets taken out in the middle of the fight. So just when we thought it was going in Venom Jesus' favor, Max gets taken out, and now it's all falling on its head. That's going to be Miami Yikes going with the engage. They're establishing point presence, and it's going to be hard for Venom Cheese to turn around without a main healer, but Young Lean is trying his best, getting a huge shots onto Stonky with Phelan able to finish him off, and Queen Rabbit knows how much of a threat Young Lean is, trying to exert some pressure, but it's not going to be just enough. Young Lean getting another kill onto the Lucio, no one exerting pressure, and already has a Bob on the point. Young Lean just fighting this entire team all on its own and giving his team on Venom Cheese enough time to get the respawns and come back and establish point presence. Booth, I really have no idea who this fight is going to go in favor to.
Yeah, the coalescence pop there from Miami Yikes. They're doing their best to try to win this as close as they can. Denvega throws out the mines, but there's not enough follow-up for their team to deal with this yet. The Miami Yikes are able to just avoid it around point, and now trying to delay point as much as they can. Although Young Lean is back to get the picks, they're not going to be able to push back in. The point is going to flip over, and 5 minutes available here for the Miami Yikes. They're going to push forward and get these stagger picks if they can, and they're going to have a lot of time now that they lost the Mercy and has to make that long walk back from the point C spawn. They might be able to even get around bus here, which would be really big for them. Their big thing is they have to be set up in a place to not yet Young Lean have so much presence here on the high grounds and shoot over them. They need to get an early EMP off with Turtles. They need to try to, if they can get a DMAC or Denvega down early too, that would be huge for them. And so yeah, they need to get up to this high ground though. Yeah, there you go. Good job from Queen Rabbit holding on to this. They need to dive into Neil.
Oh, but Turtles dies while casting the EMP, but will it be enough? Will Miami Yikes be there with the follow-up? And it looks like they will be. Steinosa's getting a Diva Bomb kill, followed by Just Ashley getting 2 kills with the Moira. So yeah, even though Turtles dies in the process of that EMP, it gets all the value that it needs, and that is going to be Miami Yikes just rolling into the second checkpoint on Numbani.
Yeah, the cart wasn't even touched the whole time for them. They have the Death Blossom still, as well as the Primal, and both support ults going to be available. 5 minutes and 16 seconds. That is an eternity if you're on this defense to look up and see that timer. They need to win these fights quickly. Catmask needs to get this EMP off and make it huge for their team and not get caught out here and catch this early. But one of these carts coming around, but they need to make sure they have their whole team ready to engage.
Yeah, this entire fight rests on the back of Catmask. Will this EMP get value? Will it? How many members will it catch even? Oh, but a huge sweep onto the side of Queen Rabbit, but is immediately woken. But just as I say that, Queen Rabbit tries to go with the re-engage. It gets taken out. So now this fight is going into the favor of side of Venom Cheese, and that's a Nano going onto Phelan just to exert some pressure, not exactly to get any kills. The Valkyrie also going to get popped. Venom Cheese just popping ultimates left and right, and once again not getting any kills out of it. It's going to take Young Lean throwing a Bob onto the point in order to get the first opening pick. But it looks like that's all Venom Cheese needs. They did win the fight in the end, but like we were saying, Booth, that was so many ults they had to pop. 4 ultimates in order just to get 1 kill on the side of Miami Yikes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because the Miami Yikes are coming back in with 5 ultimates. They're furthest away at 80% for that EMP. And oh no, I think that was a misclick from Catmask. Oh, that's unfortunate. They're really going to want that ultimate back, and now the Miami Yikes are going to push in off of it.
Yeah, just Ashley getting a kill onto Den Vega, and now Venom Cheese, their entire defense is falling apart. They will get a chance to re-engage here on the from their close spawns, but it's going to be pretty much chaos at this point. Miami Yikes coming in with both the EMP and the Death Blossom. It seems like this point is just going to be wrapped up in a tiny bow if they could get any value out of their ultimates here. Steinosis proving my point just there with a Diva Bomb on the Catmask. Catmask not able to get any value. Oh, but Stonky gets booped into the team while he's Death Blossoming. Probably didn't expect that to happen from Den Vega, but it did, and gets a kill on the back, gets a kill onto Phelan because of it. And Miami Yikes rolling into the third point in Navani, all 3 points taken with pretty much no resistance.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. That is a lot to look up at and see at Venom Cheese and know you have to get this on your attack. But if you're the side of Venom Cheese, you have to play considering that because you need to get the victory on this map. But you got to focus point by point here. You need to think, what do we need to change to cap first, and then maybe even if for them they got to possibly be thinking, all right, how do we? On a point like this, is there a chance that we maybe push for the tie if we're starting to get close towards overtime pushes on our attack? But they need to be careful. From this dive from Miami Yikes, I think they could pull out their defense is going to be really critical on what they pick. At the moment, running the same composition they ran on the attack. So not going to have tons to deal with anything pokey going on from Venom Cheese. They have the Winston from Queen Rabbit, but there's no real Ana. There's no hit scan. Nothing for long-range damage for them or any kind of long-range poke even. So Venom Cheese could pull out a Pharah, possibly. There's no hit scan to deal with it. There's no Baptiste even for an immortality field. They got to be careful not to dive straight into Stonky, who's going to be just sitting and waiting, trying to bait them in. Turtles have been playing a very defensive Sombra so far, and it's really done great for them in these last couple of maps, waiting for them to dive in, getting that hack when they want, and then falling down and putting pressure onto that backline, making Shady Nasty decide who they're going to heal, and in the process, not able to keep the rest of their team alive. So good. I like this positioning from the Miami Yikes here up on the high ground. Venom Cheese are going to be met with it, but they're taking a pretty split attack here.
Yeah, and that's going to be Queen Rabbit exerting some pressure onto the front line of Venom Cheese. And whoa, but just as I say that, Catmask gets an opening pick on the Turtles, and that's going to be a huge opening for Venom Cheese. They got to engage off of that. We do see Young Lean just trying to fall back to get some health back, and so he could re-engage onto the point. And Magino starting to fall low, but Venom Cheese is not there with the follow-up. They're not able to converge on the point, but huge Bionate coming out from the side of Mask. Will they be able to capitalize? It doesn't look like it. No kills are coming in on the feed, but Queen Rabbit does get taken down eventually from Mask. And Stonky trying to survive on point, trying to do whatever he can to kill as many people as possible so that Miami Yikes could reaffirm their presence, but he gets hacked by Catmask, and that is going to be Venom Cheese potentially there with the follow-up. Not quite going to be out. Oh, but a double boot coming out for Madrinal onto both the healers on the side of Venom Cheese. So that's going to be the end of the fight right there.
Wow, they somehow hold that together. No resurrect available, and they're still able to hold until these spawns come back. And now they have ultimates. They have the Death Blossom. Steinus is getting the remake now. Both support ultimates available for them. Venom Cheese have either got to go in here, dry fight, and try to bait some of these ultimates out, or Cat Mask has to land a massive EMP for their team and negate all the advantage that Miami Yikes are going to have.
Yeah, they have to be hiding the Lucio right now on the side of Miami Yikes. No, they're not. The Lucio's just standing out in the open. It's going to be a free EMP if Venom Cheese could get it. Will they be able to? Will they pop it though? Will they get the value? It seems like Venom Cheese, they're hesitating to engage here. They do get a hack onto the Moira, but it's not going to get much value. There's the hack coming out, but there's no follow-up. They do throw out a Diva Bomb to try and get the entirety of Miami Yikes, but that's a huge boomer bust ultimate, a huge boomer bust play that they're going for there. And meanwhile, Stonky is eviscerating the Venom Cheese backline, and Venom Cheese, their entire attack is just falling apart. They're trying to get they're trying to get that first tick. They're trying to establish point presence, but Miami Yikes just shutting them down immediately.
Wow, this is Lucio seeming to come alive there, be a third DPS for their team. He's getting so many picks in the end of these fights. And Venom Cheese here looking in a pretty dire situation. A minute 30 left for them. They still have this Pulse Bomb, but they don't have the EMP available yet. They need to get this charged up as soon as they can. Turtles does have the counter EMP available for the Miami Yikes, so not tons to really deal with any pressure. If Venom Cheese is able to land a big Pulse Bomb early on and then push in off of that, there is no Resurrect available for the Miami Yikes, so they can't res up anything that goes on in this pre-fight.
Yeah, if anyone's going to get a huge Pulse Bomb, it's going to be Young Lean coming in clutch, but will he be able to get it? Will he stick it onto anybody? They're really grouped up right there. There's a huge opportunity, but the Pulse Bomb doesn't stick. He does manage to get Stonky, though, so the fact that it sticks is just irrelevant. Phelan going to be able to follow up, taking out Queen Rabbit and Turtles. The EMP coming out might be a little bit overdone there from the side of Venom Cheese, but at this point, they just want to capture the point.
Yeah, they got to win this, and they got to win it quick. So although it's a little bit of an overinvestment, they needed to win this fight quickly. They see that that time bank available for the Miami Yikes still. They're 3 minutes there, so they're already less than the time they have available. So they got to get a lightning fast push here. And there's still a lot of time for Cat Mask to build that up here before another full fight takes advantage here on the B. I mean, it's a long walk for the teams to get back. They don't have long range for them to invest with here, so Miami Yikes have to either sit back and wait for the cart to kind of push around this first little choke, or they're going to have to dive in early. It looks like they're going to do the first option of the two there, which gives Cat Mask a lot of time to start building up ultimate skin. Young Lean's already close to that Pulse Bomb again, too.
Oh, huge hack onto Turtles. Will he get taken out, though? No, the peel is there from the Moira, so it looks like Venom Cheese, they're going to be going to this fight at 6v6 still, not like they wanted. Den Vega is going to be disengaging, which is going to give Miami Yikes an opening to take out the Venom Cheese backline. And once again, the Venom Cheese attack just falling apart. They're playing very slow, which is very odd considering how they handled their first two maps.
Yeah, it is. Miami Yikes didn't have to invest much there. You see Turtles now switching off the Sombra, going over to the Genji. No nano boost to go with that at the moment, but this is go time here for Venom Cheese. Look at all the ultimates they have on board. They can't throw all of them in right away. They have to be thinking about what's all left online for them, and that's a very early line from Den Vega.
Yeah, you could see Mast is playing great, landing huge bionades, huge sleeps, but Venom Cheese, they're just not engaging fast enough to get any value out of it. The Moira ult is just gonna eviscerate Young Lean and take him down before the fight's even started, so that's gonna be already Venom Cheese's attack just falling apart. Queen Rabbit popping Primal Rage just to put a period on the end of that sentence. And yeah, Miami Yikes once again having a successful defense.
It is, and but Venom Cheese didn't end up investing too much really into that fight. They still have their EMP available. They have this nano boost as well. It's good. Oh no, again, Cat Mask. Oh my goodness! Accidentally, that another fat finger. Well, they're switching over to the Reaper now. Possibly that was their play the whole time there. But they have this nano boost available. They can throw that onto Young Lean to try to get some one clips into the backline, but they throw it onto the Diva instead.
But is Cat Mask going to be able to build up ultimate fast enough? That EMP was a huge advantage that they could have had right there. But yeah, Stonky trying to get some kills onto the enemy backline, and he has the Death Blossom. You can just pop it whenever. Turtles now has the Blade. It's go time with the Blade, and he's going to be ready to engage at any moment now. Oh, he's just looking for a fat dash to see and get an opening. throwing some right clicks into the enemy backline, but Stonky comes out with a Death Blossom. They were Venom Cheese. They were waiting for the blade. They were patiently waiting to see if they could shut down Turtles on the blade, but they completely forgot about Stonky, able to just get a free Death Blossom on the Venom Cheese backline. That's going to be the fight falling apart. Venom Cheese, they're pretty much out of time now.
They're going to have to touch with these dive tanks. Vega does have the mines to give him a couple more seconds, and Phelan's going to be coming with the bomb, but they have to get through the blade. They're going to have to get through a bomb on the side of the Miami Yikes as well.
Oh, but Queen Rabbit is already in the back line of Venom Cheese, and Stynos does a huge pick onto Shady Nasty. That's going to be very disappointing for the side of Venom Cheese. Turtles coming in with the blade just to clean it up, and Miami Yikes coming away with the win.
Coming back, winning 4 maps in a row. Miami Yikes doing just completely changing their style up there after that second map. The first map's being so closely contested and really putting on a clinic here at the end, winning Numbani with style, and just completely different gameplay out of them. It almost looked like 2 different teams through the end, but a heck of a match out of both sides. Congratulations there to the Miami Yikes, and thank you to the Venom Cheese for a great season. It was awesome to see you guys join us here. We really hope you're going to be joining us again here next season. We wish your team the best here in the offseason, but the Miami Yikes are going to be moving on here now to the next round. That'll be going up against Delta Threat. Going up against Jetpack Cats, the 2nd overall seed. But Jetpack Cats have looked pretty untouchable so far this season, but the Miami Yikes last 4 maps there looked crazy impressive. They might be the team to finally take them off their high horse there.
Absolutely. If you ask me, Booth, they were listening to the stream. They had it on in the background. They heard your advice, and they said, you know what? Booth's right. He knows exactly how to turn this team around, because the first 2 maps were honestly pretty close. It really could have gone either way, but then the 3 that followed were completely dominant performances on the side of Miami Yikes. So whoever is calling the shots, giving the coaching tips on that team definitely deserves some praise, because that was a complete turnaround in this series.
Yeah, it really was. Oh my goodness. But Miami Yikes, I think they knew what they needed to do. They got that aggressive play style. I think the scary thing, if you're in the Harmony tier and you watch this game, is that Venom Cheese were trying to pick around what they thought they were stronger on or what Miami Yikes were weakest on. And they're like, okay, we're going to force them to do dive because their brawl looks strong. And they put them on dive, and then all of a sudden their dive just through the roof with that Turtles pick over onto the Genji, and then they're okay, we're going to put it back on maps that are a little brawlier. They go to Lijiang, and then their brawl looks just as strong again, so they really seem to find their own there. Maybe a big benefit of first to 4 format for them is that they kept getting more into their comfort after they kept getting a couple more maps under their belt after they got warmed up, and they sure looked impressive there at the end.
I couldn't agree more. Booth, I have a question before we end the stream here. If you were to give an MVP award to any player on the side of Miami Yikes, who would you give it to?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think so much of their team did so many little things that we won't even be able to capitalize on. It's easy always to switch over and pick some of the DPS. I think Stonky did fantastic on the Reaper all throughout tonight. Turtles showing why they're one of the best DPS in the tier. But I'm going to give it to Stynesis, actually, over on the off tank. I think they did so much work there on the Diva. Their bombs were timed perfectly. They really shut down any of times Venom Cheese couldn't play the Reaper composition. Their Death Blossoms were just getting eaten the whole time. And at the end, you were seeing Young Lean, who was my player of the match for Venom Cheese by far, was getting dove so much more frequently in those last few maps that I think that they were a big part of calling that dive. They always were the ones putting pressure on it and really took off a lot of the strength they were having there with that hit scan.
Yeah, it really seemed like where it fell apart for Venom Cheese right there was they were really excelling in the beginning of the match, going for these really high-risk plays, these really gimmicky plays, I'd say. And in the beginning of the match, when Miami Yikes isn't expecting it, they definitely got away with it. We saw 2 C9s on the first two maps coming out from Venom Cheese onto Miami Yikes. They just weren't expecting the plays that Venom Cheese were going to pull. But you could see as the match goes on that Miami Yikes, they're getting more wise to the act. Their unpredictable play, in a sense, became more predictable. Yeah. And Venom Cheese, they were going for these really boomer bust, high risk plays, trying to see if they could get the big 6-man Diva Bomber, the big 6-man Shatter, and it just wasn't paying off for them. And I think if Venom Cheese, they played a little more disciplined, a little more fast paced, they definitely would have been able to turn around here. But let's focus on the winners here for Miami Yikes. Where do you see them going forward here? We talked about how Jetpack Cat is going to be huge competition for them. How do you expect that match to go?
Well, at least one thing they'll be going into, Jetpack Cats, I think across all their roles are incredibly strong. Their DPS seem to be some of the limelights that go forward. Very well coached. Vela is a fantastic coach for their team, winning the end of season awards, getting picked as the best coach in the tier. Sensa and has been fantastic for them. Their hit scan also has been just insane on the side of Jetpack Cats. That's Shady. Yeah, Shady's Ash is like out of this world. And you saw how well they were able to react to Young Lean's Ash tonight, so they look like to be in pretty good favor here. It's going to be interesting to see when that comes. That's going to be next week. I wish I could tell you which matches are going to be featured next week. We still have to see how the rest of the week goes. I mean, we still have more playoffs going on this whole week. Tomorrow, of course, going to be the majority of our games going on. Featured here on this channel, we're going to have Primal taking on Twilight Foxes. We're going to be trying to give you some updates of other matches going on, so please tune in tomorrow. We'll keep you up to date on the rest of the matches going across here, across Overwatch Tranquility. But that's not it. We also have Thursday and Friday features coming out this week. Here on Thursday, we have Meta Rejects taking on Pogfish, which is a match I think everybody has been wanting to see. I mean, Meta Rejects full of so many players that have played across Tranquility's previous seasons, and Pogfish being the favorite pick here of our favorite podcaster, Mr. Thuggington, of course, who have had a great season, kind of faltered here, getting close to the playoffs. We're seeming to be the favorite pick going in. So we'll see how they take each other on. And then Friday, we have Tranquility After Dark, 10 p.m. start time. We're going to have Orbit taking on Dirt. But that's not all going on. Make sure you guys are also checking out tonight over on our YouTube page. We're going to have the beat drop going on tonight. Should be premiering in -1 minutes, actually, at 10:45. Good Boys are going to be our feature of Captain Jack and Gizmo Charmander giving the team an interview. So make sure you hop over to YouTube and check that out. That's going to be premiering, I think, as we speak. So as we wrap up here, make sure you're switching over to our YouTube channel. But as we get to our sign off here, it's been a fantastic night here in Overwatch Tranquility. I first want to give a big thank you to Jukebox on your first cast here as a caster with us. You did a fantastic job. We look forward to having you continue casting and producing with us here in the future. Also a thank you to Juke. Again, we gotta get these names fixed. This is gonna be too much. We can't have this combo going in again. What I want to have you both casting a match together actually and make it even better. That'll clear things up.
I couldn't agree more. With next game we play, me and Juke casting side by side, established dominance. Who's superior? I want to see it.
We're gonna flip cameras both time whenever we go to scenes as well, just to keep people on their toes. But that's gonna be it here out of Overwatch Tranquility. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us tonight. Make sure again you head over to YouTube, check out the beat drop, and tuning in the rest of the week for us. But for Booth, Jukebox, and Juke, we thank you and hope to see you soon.